Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Good evening. Head coach of the Astros is Peyton Sen. He's assisted by Jack Gould and
Good
Steve
evening,
West.
baseball fans, and welcome into Kindred, where we are gearing up for a
And now for your home team,
matchup
Kindred Post 117.
in an early
You're not
June
starting.
day.
Number 13 is Braden Olson. Number 11, Jacob Pearson.
Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Hey, baseball fans, welcome into Kindred on a beautiful Wednesday evening. Mid-70s here in Kindred. A little bit windy, but overall a fantastic day to play baseball. We are gearing up for a Legion B game here in Kindred. My name's Josh Almaris alongside Mike Bernier. Mike, you ready for some Legion action?
Absolutely. Another beautiful night. Last night we had the Babe Ruth matchup against Castleton, and we had a very gorgeous night. Little cloud cover, a little cooler than yesterday, but the field still looks amazing, and it's a beautiful night for some baseball, like it always is.
Absolutely, and tonight kicks off the opener for the Kindred Legion B squad. The opener has them as the home team, of course, the Kindred Vikings on their home field. They'll be the home team tonight, and they host the visitors on the scoreboard, the Post 400 Astros. Post 400 The Astros, a team from Fargo. We'll quick do a once around the diamond defensively for the Vikings and then look at the starting lineup. And we're already ready for play here in Kindred. So pitching for the Vikings will be Maximilian Bernier. His battery mate will be Sawyer Hess. At first will be Graham Hess. Cade Westby at second. Third base is Tyler Gronwald, and shortstop is Gabe Iverson. Out in the outfield, Jonah Larson, Jeremy Knight, and Henry Kuznia. That's left to right. Leading off, taking ball one a little bit high, is Peyton Oshner. He's the shortstop for post 400. Griffin Powell, Braden Donner are on deck and in the hole. So that pitch is swung on and fouled back. The count goes to 1-1. It'll be then Zaire Miller in the cleanup spot, followed by Thomas Cotterbaugh, and then Ronan Biorum bats sixth. It'll be Magnus Liebelt, Owen Pfeiffer, and Ben Suda rounding things out for post 400. Once again, that's Oshner, Powell, Donner, Miller, Cotterbaugh, Biorum, Liebelt, Pfeiffer, and Suda. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Max. Swung on and missed. Caught by Sawyer Hess, and he throws to his little brother Graham Hess for strikeout number 1 and out number 1 here. Oshner is retired on a strikeout there. So Max Bernier on the mound. He faces one batter and strikes him up. That'll bring up number 2, the second baseman, Griffin Powell. Here's the full windup from Bernier, a little bit outside to Sawyer Hess, the catcher, and it'll be ball 1. Here's the windup and the pitch inside for ball 2. Got a little bit hectic there, Mike, didn't it?
It did, and you can't blink. Max works very quick, so he's ready to throw again. Here he goes.
Here's the windup. That pitch is upper part of the zone for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. It says the wind is only about 7 miles an hour, but it feels like it's gusting a little bit more than that. Wouldn't you agree there, Mike?
Absolutely. Beautiful day.
Here's a ball hit right at Graham Hess. He stays down on that one nicely, and it'll be 3-U. Nice play there by Graham Hess at first base. Max comes over and gives him some love after that.
I'll tell you what, I'm 0 for 2 on moving the camera at a prompt measure, so I'm failing miserably, and I'm off to a poor start, but I'm looking to break out of my slump here.
Right fielder number 8, Braden Donner, up to bat right now. He takes ball 1. Chris Larson behind the plate, the man in blue, and then on the first base side is Josh Michelson. Here's the windup and the pitch, swung on, fouled back by Donner, and the count goes to 1-1. 2 outs here in the top half of the first. Max Bernier struck out Oshner. Griffin Powell grounded out to first baseman Graham Hess. And here we are taking ball 2, 2-1 to the third batter in this early part of game 1. Doubleheader here tonight, a 7 and a 5 inning set of games. This ball's punched out to right field. It'll land foul by a lot.
And a completely I'm trying to run the controls for the first time tonight, and I just got the outs up there now. I removed the guy that I put on second base that shouldn't have been there, so there isn't anybody on second.
Good work, Mike. You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm catching up.
Well, there's a pitch that was not able to be caught up to. Donner swings and misses on that one, and Bernier strikes out 2 guys in the top half of the first inning. So the Astros go no hits, no runs. They leave nobody on base, and there were no Kindred Viking errors after 1/2 inning of play. It's the Kindred Vikings, it's post 400 0, and the Kindred Vikings coming to bat. We'll see you back in about 30 seconds.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Go ahead. All right, fans, welcome back into Kindred. We're excited to be broadcasting some Legion baseball tonight. Josh Almaris alongside Mike Bernier, and we've got Chase Miller up here helping us out as well. We appreciate Chase coming to town. Coming to bat for the Kindred Vikings will be Tyler Gronwald, followed by Graham Hess and Sawyer Hess. Jeremy Knight in the cleanup spot, and then Max Bernier and Gabe Iverson, Cade Westby, Jonah Larson, and Henry Kuznia round things out. For post 400 on the bump is Ronan Biorum. Ronan Biorum wears number 14. Once again, he's on the bump. His battery mate is Ben Suda. Suda doing the dirty work. Owen Pfeiffer at first. Second baseman will be Griffin Powell. And at third base for post 400 is Magnus Liebelt. Shortstop is Peyton Oshner. Out in the outfield for post 400 will be Zaire Miller, Thomas Cotterbaugh, and Braden Donner. A couple of tough names to pronounce there. Zaire Miller, Thomas Cotterbaugh, and Braden Donner are the outfielders for post 400. Leading things off for the Kindred Legion B Viking squad will be Tyler Gronwald. He wears number 5 and plays third base. That pitch is taken for a strike. Good velocity there from Ronan Biorum.
Gonna have to take notes on the pronunciation of these names here.
Biorum pitches his second pitch. It's a strike. Gronwald's watched 2 come across. Not only some good velocity there from Biorum, but also some good location early on. Looking like he's going to throw a high fastball here. He doesn't hit his spot, but Gronwald swings and misses at that one, and it'll be a strikeout for Biorum. Good stuff from Ronan Biorum early on, wouldn't you say, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of shutting down Grunwald there. A pretty tough fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it kind of blew by him.
Now up will be number 4, first baseman Graham Hess. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Nothing but strikes for Biorum.
Yeah. I'm noticing the batters are a little bit late, so it's one of those situations you might have to step back in the batter's box just a hair and get your timing down.
Biorum winds and delivers. First off-speed pitch, and it's a ball. Biorum has thrown nothing but fastballs here until that one. 4 straight fastballs, 4 straight strikes. That's his first ball. Count goes to 1-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the first to Graham. This ball swung on, fouled back. Count goes to 1-2. Ronan Biorum got some good stuff up on the mound early on.
For those watching, this is the angle. We're standing right behind the camera, so this is our angle as well, just so everybody understands that the press box is down the first base line.
Here's the pitch. Curveball. Hess is able to chop that one down the third base line. Everybody's looking at one another. I think it probably would have to be an error because the pitcher did bobble it. Are we all in agreement? A very disgenerous scoring, but I think it has to be the right scoring. The pitcher came down, he fielded it, he bobbled it a little bit, and was unable to throw Hess out.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't see it. I was concentrating on trying to get the camera angle down.
So that ball gets away, and Hess is going to scamper on to second base. Graham Hess usually does the catching. He probably, I didn't see him, but maybe he made a look to the dugout like, hey, is anyone going to courtesy run for me? And like, hey, you can't be courtesy run for as a first baseman. You're doing the running today.
Well, he moved up easily there on the wild pitch.
Big brother Sawyer Hess batting in the 3 spot right now. 1-0 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Biorum kicks. Outside, moves the count to 2-0 here. Vikings are coached by Oakley DeBoard and Dean Wixow. Post 400s coached by Chayton Sen and Jack Gould. Oh, there's a ball hit hard and out to right field, but right fielder has a beat on it. It's hit right at him. Tag by Hess. That ball almost went to the dugout there. Nice play by Braden Donner out and right, but he almost cost his team a run by throwing that into the dugout. It did not go into the dugout. Heads up play there by Graham Hess to tag. That was a hard hit ball by Sawyer Hess, but unfortunately it fell into the glove of Donner, and it's out number 2. Hess moves to third. As we got 2 outs here.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
So man on third, Jeremy Knight up to bat. He takes strike number 1. Jeremy Knight playing center field, wears number 17, swings the bat left-handed. Here's the pitch. Strike number 2. Jeremy Knight watches 2 good ones go by. That pitch right there I thought was one he could have drove, Mike.
Yeah, Jeremy likes to get his arm extended. He's got tremendous power. Like to see him use it here, driving a run.
He's in a hole now. Ronan Biorum, he's in control. And he takes advantage of that, throws a fastball by Jeremy Knight, and that'll be how the Vikings go down. The Vikings score 0 runs on no hits. They leave 1 runner on base, and there was 1 post-400 error. After 1 inning of play, the score remains 0-0.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Hey fans, welcome back into Kindred. Beautiful Kindred, North Dakota on a beautiful 70-degree early June evening. Up to bat for post 400 is going to be Zaire Miller. He swings and misses. He'll be followed by Thomas Cotterbaugh and Ronan Biorum. Zaire Miller plays left field, wears number 23. He's down 0-1 as Maximilian Bernier goes from the full, throws a strike. Nice pitch there. Little off speed there in the lower inside part of the strike zone. Zaire Miller is a strong looking young man. He swings and misses there. And the wind is pretty much gone now as the flag hangs stale out in center. But it was blowing out. Bernier winds and delivers. Good pitch outside. Sawyer Hess can't hang on to it. Doesn't matter. It's 1-2. Miller, Cotterbaugh, and Biorum for post 400. Bernier on the 1-2. Nice pitch there by Bernier. A little off-speed mix. And he gets Zaire Miller to swing through that. That's one very important thing when you've got batters that can hit fastballs far or look like they can hit it far. If you can keep them off balance, then it really messes with their chi, right, Mike?
I like the way Max is attacking the strike zone and working ahead on the hitters as he throws ball 1 to the first, the next hitter.
Yeah, that's usually how it works, right? We compliment someone and then they say, watch, I can do something the opposite of that.
Oof.
Misses there for ball 2. Center fielder number 16, Thomas Cotterbaugh, is up to the plate right now. 2-0 count, 1 out here in the top of the second.
Hey Josh, I got the out up on the board.
Good work, baby steps.
So we're going.
Yeah, good.
I'm running the controls tonight, running the camera, running the outs and the base paths and things like that.
Here's a strike for Max. Moves the count to 3-1. Ronan Bjornum on deck and Magnus Liebelt in the hole. There's Bernier. Wines, delivers, swing and a miss by Cotterbaugh. And the count moves full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Big pitch here coming up for Max because he was down 3-0. He can come back and get it out here.
Here's the wine. Fall back. Absolutely good job there by Bernier to bounce back from 3-0. And Cotterbaugh, nice job to fall off that 2-strike pitch and earn him another one. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. What a great job there by Max. Strikeout number 4 for him. Throwing 3 straight balls and then coming back and throwing 4 straight strikes. Good job by Max. That'll bring up Ronan Bjornum, the pitcher, who wears number 14. Strike called. Nice pitch there, inside part of the plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another good pitch there. Max working the inside, working the outside.
Max spent a lot of time at home throwing into our screen, kind of our hitting net. Doing a lot of throwing at home.
There's strike 3 called by home plate umpire Chris Larson. That'll be strikeout number 5, 4 in a row for Max. And the post 400 Astros go down in order in the top of the second. Max Bernier strikes out the side. There's the post 400 Astros get no runs on no hits. They leave nobody on base, and there were no Kindred errors. After 1 1/2 inning of play, it's 0-0.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Hey fans, welcome back into Kindred. Josh Almaris alongside Mike Bernier. Fun start to an opener here in Kindred for the Legion squad. Kindred has a Legion A team, a Legion B team, a Babe Ruth team that plays mid-cast, which by the way, they're down in, up at Northern Cast right now in Gardner. That Babe Ruth team is leading Northern Cast by a score of 5-0 in the top of the 4th. Kindred has a 15 and 14-year-old, in essence a B Babe Ruth team, and 2 13-year-old teams, 6 teams 13 and older. Here we got Max Bernier, the pitcher, leading things off. He'll be followed by Gabe Iverson and then Cade Westby. Jonah Larson and Henry Kuznia round things out for the Vikings. Ronan Bjornum throws ball 1. This ball is swung on and hit to the shortstop. Shortstop throws all the way across the diamond and retires Max Bernier. That's Oshner throwing over to Pfeiffer. Oshner to Pfeiffer for out number 1.
Well, it was a routine ground ball out to short, but it was good to see Max hustling down the line. He kind of made that within a step or two. So it's good to make those routine plays not so routine, and hopefully you make the shortstop hustle a little bit and maybe make an overthrow.
Here's Gabe Iverson up to bat right now. Gabe Iverson wears number 8, plays short, playing short here tonight. Cade Westby on deck. Here's the pitch, swung on, chopped right down onto the turf off his foot before it hit the turf. I was wondering why he didn't run there, Mike, but obviously he's like, you know what? hit my foot, and if anybody should know that, it's me. It's throbbing right now.
That's some of the worst pain, especially if you get it off your shin.
It's something that I never did. I never one time hit myself in the foot.
Yeah.
Dan Nathan is just starting things off here. He says it's because I never hit the ball, but I can assure you that I hit the ball at least once or twice. In fact, fun fact, Ben Suda he's the 9-hitter, the catcher. Well, that hit him there too. So Iverson gets hit twice. One time because of himself, and the next time because of the pitcher. Ronan Bjornum hits Gabe. But Ben Suda, the catcher for Post 400, his dad and his mom and I go back a long ways. They're both Grafton alum. Both of them are a year older than I am. Dave Suda and I, Ben's dad, we have a lot of fantastic memories on the baseball field together. You get a couple old baseball guys together, and they'll tell you how good of a team we were, and we did have some very good teams. We were very close to a state championship back in 2000, but didn't get it. So in any case, I'm gonna just argue with Dan Nathan with him not paying any attention to me. I did hit the ball once or twice. Strike 2 taken here by Cade Westby. He wears number 12 and is the second baseman for the Vikings. Gabe Iverson on first with one out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Nice job by Suda of hanging on to that ball as it was tipped. But Ben Suda hangs on to it, and it's out number 2. Strikeout number 3 for Bjornum. Now batting will be number 16, the left fielder Jonah Larson, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Ronan Bjornum sets, kicks, and delivers. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Ronan Bjornum throws hard. Got to be about mid-70s, wouldn't you think? Low 70s, low to mid-70s for Bjornum.
I think so, yeah. He's popping it up there every now and then.
Here's the pitch. That one's chopped, and it's fair. And Jonah Larson isn't going to run. The catcher's just going to jog her on down. That's Ben Suda going to take it, underhand toss it, feeds the horse, and that was a strange play. But I think that was absolutely the right call. It looked like it landed in fair territory, wouldn't you agree?
It was a right call because it was a fair ball. So umpire ruled it fair, and no matter what you do, when you chop it, you gotta start running because you're not the umpire, you're the player, and you gotta let the umpire make the call whether or not it's fair or foul.
I was kind of looking forward to that being a 2U putout by Ben Suda at first. I don't think I've ever seen it. That's the thing about baseball is you see something new almost every game. That would have been new. Nonetheless, we have in the end of 2 innings, the Vikings get no runs on no hits. They leave 1 runner on base, and there were no post 400 errors. We're going to be back in about a minute with the third inning. See you then.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Here we go, fans. Welcome back into Kindred, where Post 400 comes to bat with Magnus Liebelt, Owen Pfeiffer, and Ben Suda. First pitch taken for a strike there by Liebelt. Max Bernier on the bump, pitching to Sawyer Hess. Here's pitch number 2, swung on and missed. Strike 2. Count goes to 0-2 for Magnus Liebelt in the top half of the third inning. Here's the pitch. Popped out to right field. That's going to hit the concrete track out there. New track going in here in Kindred. It's going to be beautiful. Royal blue with gray exchange zones and runways. It's looking fantastic early on. That ball's hit to right field, and out in right field is Henry Kuznia. He's got a good beat on it, and he snares it out in right field for the first out. Good job by Henry. And that'll be out number 1 in the top of the third inning. Brings up Owen Pfeiffer, number 26, the first baseman. Mike and I called the Babe Ruth game last night, here again tonight, and you couldn't dial up any better weather than what we've had these two evenings. No mosquitoes, no bugs, no anything other than just fantastic views and aesthetics. Not you and me, Mike, but the field. There's a strike taken by Pfeiffer. Goes to 1-1 with 1 out here in the third inning.
Both pitchers working very quickly.
That's good to see. No pitch clock, but they don't need a pitch clock.
Well, it keeps your fielders in the game.
Absolutely.
There was nothing worse than playing behind a guy that took about 3.5 minutes in between each pitch.
Here's the 1-2 from Max, a little bit outside. Yeah, you don't want a human rain delay on the mound.
Yeah.
If you're out in the field, even if it is nice out. Here's the 1-2 popped up. Tyler Gronwald heading over to his right, and he makes the play right along the fence. Good job there by Tyler Gronwald for out number 2. And that'll bring up Ben Suda, the catcher, who wears number 9. I feel like I could tell a lot of stories about his parents and I back in our high school days. I took a selfie with him and sent it to him, and he just rolled his eyes at me. Here's a ground ball hit out shortstop, Gabe Iverson. Nice play over to Graham Hess, and that'll be how things end here in the top half of the third inning. Post 400 gets no hits, no runs. They leave nobody on base, and the Vikings had no errors. After 2.5, it's 0-0.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ. 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Welcome back into Kindred, ladies and gentlemen, where the Vikings are going to bring to the plate their 9-hitter Henry Kuznia. Had a nice catch out and right in the top half of this inning. And then back to the top with Tyler Gronwald and Graham Hess. Kuznia, Gronwald, and Graham Hess Ronan Biorum starts things off with a strike. Strike one goes to Henry Kuznia. Both pitchers doing a great job of pumping strikes again and again and having a good pace while they do it. Here's pitch number 2. It's outside for a ball. Count goes to 1-1 to Kuznia. Kuznia wears number 33. Gets himself ready in the batter's box as Ronan agrees with Ben on the call. Works into the full windup. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled back over the press box here. Over the beautiful patio on the first base side. Biorum winds and delivers. Ball. Count goes to 2-2 to Henry Kuznia. Post 400 has 3 Legion teams. They have a team in this league playing what's called Junior Legion or Class B Legion. That pitches outside. They have a team in the A Legion, Post 400 Comets, and they have a double A team as well. Here's the pitch. It's taken for a strike, and it's strike number 3. Kuznia's caught window shopping, and Chris Larson rings him up. It'll be strikeout number 1. Bring up leadoff man, number 5, third baseman Tyler Gronwald. Gronwald struck out in his first at-bat in the first inning. We'll see if he can avenge that or if Biorum gets him again here. That ball's taken low for Gronwald. 1-0 here to Tyler. Tyler Gronwald going to be a junior next year. Good trackster. Excellent cross-country runner. He swings on that one, hits it foul. And I think it's going to fall harmlessly out there as Zaire isn't able to put on the lightning bolts and scream his way over there. Moves the count to 1-1 with 1 out here in the third inning. Babe Ruth team, the Kindred Babe Ruth team in Northern Cass are now up 11-0 in the bottom of the 4th. That's a league game for them. That pitch is a curveball on the outside part of the plate taken by Gronwald. Nice pitch by Biorum. Count goes to 1-2. Babe Ruth team kicked off the season yesterday here in Kindred with 2 victories over Castleton. Here's the 1-2. Another curveball, and Tyler, you can't let that one go after you just saw the other one. Otherwise, Chris Larson's going to ring you up like he just did. That'll be strikeout number 5 for Biorum. Tyler's fallen victim to the strikeout twice now. That'll bring up Graham Hess. Graham Hess chopped one to the pitcher. Pitcher bobbled it, and he then reached on an error. That ball is hit hard out to center field, but right at center fielder Cotterbaugh. So a loud out, but an out nonetheless. Good swing by Graham Hess, but a nice play by Thomas Cotterbaugh out in center, and that'll be how the Vikings are retired in the bottom of the 3rd. They get no runs on no hits. They leave nobody on base, and there were no post 400 errors. It remains 0-0 after 3 complete.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Hey fans, welcome back into the booth along the first base dugout, right above the first base dugout in Kindred. Leadoff man Peyton Oshner leading things off in the top of the fourth. True leadoff man leading off for the second time here in the game. Peyton Oshner watches 2 strikes go by. It's 0-2 to Peyton. He struck out in the first. In the fourth, he hits that one hard down the line. We'll see if he can avenge his strikeout or if Max gets the best of him once again. 0-2 to Oshner. Here's the windup and the delivery. Nice job there of Oshner fighting off a very good pitch, an off-speed that looked to be breaking out, and he just did a good job of earning himself another pitch. See what he can do with it. That ball's fouled off. It's not going to be out of play. Graham Hess started to make his way over and realized it was way out of play.
That's Sawyer back there.
Graham came from first.
Okay. Yeah.
Sawyer didn't hardly move. Now, Graham came from first, which, yeah, you're right. It is Sawyer. Great job of putting it in play. Let's see if Tyler can make that play. He does. Excellent play there by Tyler Gronwald at first. A lot of good things, just some good baseball being played right now. Good pitching, good pace. Good job by Oshner there of just, trying to earn another pitch, following things off, puts that in play. Tyler Gronwald moving to his left, makes a nice play there. Graham Hess with a good stretch over at first. That'll bring up Griffin Powell, second baseman. Takes a strike. Why not? That's all Max has done is throw strikes this inning.
Max was a teammate with Griffin Powell.
Okay.
In a fall ball league about 3-4 years ago.
All right. That ball is hit high into the infield. Gabe Iverson calls for it, and he snags that one in the infield grass, and that'll be a pop-up to Gabe Iverson, F6 in the books. And they'll bring up Braden Donner, the right fielder, who wears number 8.
Yeah, Griffin Powell played. We played in a fall ball Fargo league, and the Hesses played, so Graham and Sawyer Hess were on that team as well, playing with Max.
They all like their royal blue. Playing on post 400 and the Kindred Vikings. Kindred smartly coming out in their grays tonight. Oh, one blemish here, and it's a bad one for Max. Hits Donner in the leg. Looked like an off-speed that maybe got away. And Donner's going to be on first with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. That'll bring up Zaire Miller, left fielder, wears number 23. He struck out in the second. There's 2 outs here. Max steps off the rubber, elects not to throw. Jonah Larson, I don't know if he's playing deep enough right now in left, because if Zaire hits this ball hard, here's the runner. Sawyer Hess throws it down just a little bit high to Cade Westby. Good speed there by Donner, and he's stolen second base. So runner in scoring position for post 400.
First base runner allowed by Max, so let's see how he throws out of the stretch here. Things can be a little bit different. See how he reacts and tries to get through this inning.
It is indeed the first runner he has put on, and post 400 has taken advantage of that, immediately getting him to second. The Vikings have only put 2 runners on. Hess got as far as third base. This is as far, obviously, as a post 400 Astro has gotten. Hess got to third, and Iverson got to first. Now we got a guy on second in Donner. Max checks and delivers. Outside, ball gets away. Sawyer picks it up. They have a shot at him. That ball goes out into left field, and unfortunately for the Vikings, that plates Donner. So pass ball moves Donner over to third. The air then brings him in, and that's how the seal will be broken here in Kindred, with Donner coming across and scoring a run. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That ball's popped up, and who's going to take it? Looks like Max wants it, and Max takes it. So Max picks up that final out in the 4th inning, but an advantageous Astro group gets 1 run on no hits. There was 1 Viking error and nobody left on base after 3.5 innings of play. The score now, we'll get the score squared away. The score reads Fargo Post 401 and the Kindred Vikings 0.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Hey fans, welcome back into Kindred, where you see the post 400 Astros have struck first here in the first part of a doubleheader. Braden Donner comes across. He was hit by a pitch, stole second, reached third on a pass ball, and scored on an errant throw. See if the Vikings can respond. They've got their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. This is Sawyer Hess, takes high. To be followed by Jeremy Knight and Max Bernier. Hess hit the ball hard last time, but he hit it right at Braden Donner out in right field, and Donner was able to catch it no problem. This ball's chopped out to the second baseman. He fields and throws over. Powell over to Pfeiffer, and that'll be out number 1 here in the 4th. I'll bring up Jeremy Knight, the cleanup man, center fielder, wears number 17, struck out in the first. He took a couple strikes and then didn't catch up to the heater. We'll see if he attacks something thrown to him early. Here's the first pitch. Takes down low. Close pitch there. Ball number 1. Ronan Biorum doesn't like what he got first, then he agrees. Swing and a miss there by Knight. Good hack. Just missed a fastball. He had that one timed up much better than he did in his first at-bat. Here's the 1-1 from Biorum. Swing and a miss there by Knight, and that'll be strike number 2. So the 1-2 pitch coming here. Max Bernier waits on deck. Gabe Iverson in the hole if he should get a chance this inning. Vikings looking to respond as they gave up a run in the top of the 4th. Here's the delivery. Ooh, a strike called. Curveball looked to be on the outer upper part of the zone. Chris Larson says it indeed was a strike, and that'll be strikeout number 6 for Biorum. Jeremy Knight, his second. And now Max Bernier bats. He grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. He takes ball 1 up high. Get him a pail, they would say when I'd watch Mason, my son, play at NDSCS. So what does that mean? He's throwing up. Here's a fly ball hit out to center field. The center fielder has got a beat on it, and he makes the catch. That'll retire things with Cotterbaugh making that catch. In the bottom of the 4th for the Vikings, they get no hits, no runs. They leave nobody on base, and there were no Astro errors after 4 complete. Vikings trail the Astros by a score of 1-0.
Trusted news, weather, and sports from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio. with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com, local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Welcome back into Kindred, ladies and gentlemen. We kick off the Legion season here in Kindred with post 400 Astros coming to town to take on the Kindred Vikings. Post 400 is going to bring to the plate Thomas Cotterbaugh, Ronan Biorum, and Magnus Liebelt. Bunt shown but popped back and foul. Cotterbaugh, as we oftentimes see in baseball, caught the final out of the fourth, and now he leads off the fifth. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. He's in the hole 0-1 right here in the top of the fifth. Bernier winds and delivers, shows bunt again. Max is all over it. He picks and throws, and just like that, it's a bang-bang play at first, but the out called by Josh Michelson. The 1-3 put out is how we're going to start here in the fifth.
Max got off the mound pretty quickly and got, the ball never really made it out of that artificial turf that we have new on the field, and sprinted up there and made a nice throw over to first. Didn't panic.
I'll bring up the opposing team's pitcher. Ronan Biorum takes a ball, maybe just a little outside there. Biorum struck out in the second. Kind of a pitcher's duo here with Biorum and Max. This ball's fouled right over the press box. Count goes to 1-1. 1-1 here with one out in the top of the fifth inning. Ronan Biorum in the batter's box, taken from Max Bernier. A ball outside, 2-1. Now, Liebelt on deck. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Max working strikes here. It's a 2-2 count.
Here's the 2-2 pitch with one out. Ball up high. Vikings have had 2 runners on base. Graham Hess reached on an error. Gabe Iverson was hit by a pitch. There's only been 1 runner for post 400. Donner was hit by a pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Biorum, and in his second strikeout of the game. Bernier now has 6 strikeouts in the books. So Bernier has struck out 6. Biorum has struck out 6. And that'll bring up Magnus Liebelt, the third baseman. That one's over his head. Owen Pfeiffer and Ben Suda on deck and in the hole. This ball is swung on and fouled back. Count's going to go to 1-1.
Mentioned it earlier, both pitchers move very quickly. They get on the mound, they get the ball back, and they're ready to throw.
This game is 48 minutes old. There's another hit batter. Liebelt takes that one in the shoulder, and he'll trot on down to first. That'll bring up Owen Pfeiffer, the first baseman. So Liebelt is going to reach on the hit by pitch. And Owen Pfeiffer, number 26, left-handed batter who plays first base, bats now. Max throws over to first. No play at first as Liebelt gets in safely. Pitch is outside. I don't know if they called a pitch out there or not, but it was an outside pitch. 1-0 here. Post 400 operates on the number system. So 3 random numbers go. The runner's dancing around. No movement there. Ball gets fouled back.
Have you ever coached with that number system?
Nope. I'm a little bit more old school,
Yeah.
and I don't like it. You can't tell me that it saves time.
No.
Yeah. I mean, other than the runner there thought he had Max timed up, but Liebelt did not, and Max does a good job of changing his speed to the plate. Liebelt stays put, and this ball is thrown outside. Count goes to 2-1. The only thing you could say about it is that you should always get your kids to do the right thing, right? Because you're looking at a card. But I still think that if you – here's a hard hit ball right at Gabe Iverson. Well, we only play in Kindred. We only play for 3 outs, but it would have been 4. I think Coach DeBoer's going to come out and appeal. Can we take that out into the 6th inning and start? But I don't think he's going to win that one. You think he's going to win it?
I had it right on the scoreboard, so I'm like, I thought there was 2 outs, but I could be wrong because I usually am.
Yeah, very nice play there by Gabe to catch the lineup, and that's how things will end in the top half of the 5th inning. So the Astros go down. They get no runs on no hits. They leave 1 person on base, and there were no Kindred errors. And after 4.5 innings of play, it's post 400 leading the Vikings 1-0.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back into Kindred, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Almers joined by Mike Bernier here in the press box of Kindred along the first base sideline. The Fargo post 400 Astros coming to town wearing their blue jerseys with camo sleeves and sharp-looking white pants. Kindred Vikings opt to wear their grays, their gray tops with their white pants. Got a pitcher's duo here in Kindred. Nobody has gotten a hit yet. No hits. Both pitchers doing a phenomenal job. One little blemish for the Vikings, a hit by pitch and an error, and that was enough to plate a run for the Astros. You could say an opportunistic run by Braden Donner and the post 400 Astros. We'll see if the Vikings can strike here in the 5th. It's Gabe Iverson who swings and starts things off with a diamond cutter. Maybe that was the announcer's curse that we wanted to have happen, huh, Mike?
Absolutely, and it's nice to see the offense jump on the first pitch. The pitcher's moving very quickly, and he hasn't had a lot of base runners to contend with, and let's see how he reacts to having a base runner.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, if you got a pitcher in a groove, there's nothing better than to look for your pitch, and if you get something that you can strike it hard. The diamond cutter by Gabe Iverson puts the first hit on the scoreboard, and now up will be Cade Westby, who will be followed by Jonah Larson and Henry Kuznia. The 7, 8, 9 guys with the 6 batter on base here. Nice job there by Gabe Iverson of getting on base with a hit. We'll see what Cade Westby's asked to do here. Will he be asked to bunt or will he be swinging? He takes down low. Suda lucky back there. He did not catch that, and it ricocheted off his shin pad, but right in front of him. Most of the time you hit that shin pad and it's going to bounce one way or another. Talking a little bit more about how baseball is the game of inches. Gabe Iverson breaks for second. What a nice hit and run there. What a beautiful job there by the Vikings of Gabe Iverson taking second base. That pulls Oshner, the shortstop, up to shortstop, and Cade Westby finds the hole perfectly. Back-to-back hits there by the Vikings. I would think Jonah might be asked to bunt here. We'll see.
I think this is your prototypical spot to place a bunt down. You're down by 1 run. There's nobody out. Runners in first and second.
Here's the kick and the pitch, and it's taken outside. What I was saying earlier is Graham Hess did a very good job of tagging at second on a fly ball, and he went to third. There was an overthrow by the right fielder that almost went into the dugout. Had it gone into the dugout, Hess would have been granted home. We'd be talking 1-1. A game of inches. It did not go into the dugout. Hess was stranded at third, and the Astros lead 1-0. But the Vikings are knocking at the door right now with guys on first and second. A 1-1 count to Jonah Larson with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth.
And Jonah not being asked to bunt thus far.
Here's Bjorum. Throws that one in the dirt. What a great scoop there by Ben Suda. If Ben Suda does not scoop that, runners are on second and third. It is the 8 and 9 hitters, so I certainly understand the are you bunting your 8 hitter to get to your 9 hitter ordeal. You just had 2 hits. Here's a swinging bunt. That'll do the job. Jonah Larson hustles down to first. Nice play by Bjorum. And Jonah does his job by advancing the runners. It's going to go in the books as a 1-3 put out. Bjorum throws on to Pfeiffer. But both runners, Westby and Iverson, move up to second and third.
Unfortunately, he does not get credit for a sacrifice bunt, but a very effective little ground ball moves the runners up.
I'm impressed with the Vikings and how they're swinging this inning. They're coming up hacking.
And Jonah had a nice hack
yes.
at that fastball. Timed it well. He just missed it earlier in the count.
17-0 Vikings Babe Ruth team leads in Northern Cass. This ball's hit on, and a nice hit out into left field. The bottom of the order came up huge there for the Vikings. Henry Kuznia with an RBI hit out into left field, and that'll score Gabe Iverson. Cade Westby moves on to third, and the Vikings have first and third with leadoff man Tyler Gronwald coming to the plate. What a great piece of hitting, great attacking by the Vikings here this inning, and that has done enough to not only tie the game, but to bring out head coach Jack Gould to the mound for a visit. Can't say enough, Mike, about how great of an attack the Vikings have had in the bottom of the 6th inning here.
Absolutely. Gabe Iverson starts it off. First pitch swinging, laces a fastball into center field, and then Cade comes up. Gabe Iverson's on the run, and a perfect example of hit it where they ain't. And Westby just hits a little ground ball right where the shortstop was, and trickles out into left field for a nice base hit. And Henry Kuznia had the fortunate circumstance to be able to watch him in school baseball this year, and he can hit the ball. He has a good solid swing, and he hits the ball hard.
Well, he struck out in the second, and he absolutely redeems himself there with a hard hit ball out to left field. Excellent job of attacking the pitch early by Henry Kuznia, and there's a lot of game left to be played, but we'll name a connection of the game right now if we were to call it. That could be the connection of the game. A huge hit out in the left there by Kuznia, as he is now on first. Westby on third, and up to bat is Tyler Gronwald. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Anything to put this ball in play for Gronwald should be good. Here he swings. Like I said, what a great approach that the Vikings have had here in the 5th inning to come out and go after Bjorum. Bjorum has been cruising. No hits given up until this inning, and the Vikings have 3 hits already in the 5th. Bjorum kicks, high kick. This ball is put on contact play. That's going to be a fair ball off the third baseman's hand and going to be enough to score a run. Cade Westby's going to come in there. Boy, I don't know, Mike. I tend to think that might have been a hit. I don't know if he throws him out. The third baseman's moving to his right. Yeah, let's go Tyler Gronwald. We'll give him a hit on that and an RBI. It's an RBI either way because Cade Westby, I mean, kudos to Cade Westby. He's on third, and as soon as that ball is pounded in the ground, he's taken off. They're not throwing him out at home on that play. And the Vikings have taken a 2-1 lead here. as Gronwald picks up an RBI. That'll bring up Graham Hess. He takes a curveball out on the outer part of the plate for a strike. It's 0-1 to Graham Hess. Hess is 0 for 2. He reached on an error and smoked one to center. See if he can line one up here. There he takes a ball. Both runners. Oh, now we got trouble on the base paths as Gronwald is going to be caught in a hot box. Nice job there of Henry moving on to third. If Gronwald can stay in this long enough, Henry's going to go home. Now they're going to break for home and just what? Okay, there's a lot going on that play. Yeah. But kudos to Gronwald there of staying in that hot box long enough where Kuznia gets over to third, and then Kuznia helps out his buddy by taking a couple steps home, drawing the throw, and the Vikings, in all that, get each base runner moved up to second and third.
And I think the only scoring play that you put in there, you got to give the first baseman an error. He dropped the baseball because they had him in a hot box. They had him caught stealing, and he dropped the baseball. I think you got to rule an error.
So Graham Hess gets hit here. Where he got hit is going to be the discussion. Graham Hess is not selling this at all.
Yeah.
That's one where you're like, that hit me in the back. But they're going to say, did it hit him in the back or did it hit him in the bat? They're going to give him first base, yes.
Yep, hit by pitch.
So that'll load him up here. Hit by pitch. Yeah, so going back to your idea there, I think you have to go E3 on those guys advancing. But also a pick-me-up by Chris Larson because that ball is going to the backstop. It hits Chris Larson and then bounces right to the catcher.
Right to his bare hand, his throwing hand.
And then the aggressiveness of the Vikings, they get caught, but then they bail themselves out. Sawyer Hess bats with the bases loaded here. Vikings up 2-1. He's 0 for 2, hard fly out to right, and then a ground ball to the second baseman. 0-1, one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Vikings lead 2-1. That ball gets away, but not far enough from Suda.
Yeah, the Astros are catching some breaks here. That ball was destined for the backstop, but it just kind of slowed just enough and cost the Vikings an error or a run.
Sawyer Hess up to bat. He's the 3-hitter. He'll be followed by Jeremy Knight. That's a ball taken low. Good take there because that's a curveball. Borderline pitch. Probably looks like it's coming in the strike zone and drops and curves out.
And a very big take because now it's 2-1. It's a big difference between 2-1 and 1-2.
We'll see if he gets a fastball. He does. He swings through it. It's going to go 2-2 now. Big moment in the game here. 2-2, one out. Vikings lead 2-1. They sure would like to add another run or two in this inning, and Sawyer Hess has the power to do it. I said earlier, Zaire Miller was up to bat, and I didn't think our left fielder was back far enough. I don't think Zaire Miller's back far enough. I think Sawyer's going to get a hold of one here. That's a ball taken up high, and it's 3-2. You got to think fastball here if you're Sawyer.
There's nowhere to put you. The bases are juiced.
Ronan Biorum and Sawyer Hess, perhaps the biggest pitch of the game up to this point. Biorum winds, swung on, and fouled. Nope, it's going to stay fair, and Biorum, it is going to get caught foul. Doesn't matter. Either way, Biorum catches that ball, and it's all going to be up to Jeremy Knight right now. Jeremy Knight bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the fifth. Vikings have 2 runs on 4 hits this inning.
Big opportunity for the Vikings.
Hello? Is there a hit there? There is a hit there. What a call, literally being called in. There's going to be a play at the plate here as the catcher, all kinds of action here. The throw is home. Gronwald, no play made on him. Great piece of base running from Gronwald, scoring all the way from second on a hard hit ball there. Kuznia comes in no problem. Good job of Graham Hess seeing that the throw is going home and taking third, and a huge 2-out, 2 RBI hit by Jeremy Knight out into left field. Again, great base running by Knight as the throw goes from home to third. He takes second. The Vikings are a hit away from scoring 2 more. Max Bernier can help his cause. It's 4-1. Bernier takes the curveball. Good take there, as it's a curveball low and on the outer part of the plate.
Huge hit from Jeremy Knight.
We'll get that snack in a little bit, okay? Here's the set from Biorum and the kick. That ball, again, a big stop from the Astros. Ben Suda. It's 4-1 here in Kindred. 2 more ducks on the pond. Ronan Biorum has pitched a gem of a game, but the 5th has been problematic for him. 1-1 with 2 outs. Good take there by Max again. He's getting a whole lot of off-speed / curveballs being thrown at him and doing a good job of being disciplined at the plate. 2 big RBIs out there, potentially. Knight at second and Hess at third. Biorum sets, kicks, big kick, and good pitch. Upper inner part of the zone. Max takes for a strike. It's 2-2.
I think Max quite agreed with that call, but umpire called it a strike.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Ball taken outside. And we go to 3-2.
Both pitchers now at 68 pitches.
Gabe Iverson is on deck, and he started this off with a hard hit ball up the middle. Got the Vikings going. The 6, 7, 8, 9 guys came up huge for the Vikings. Here's the 3-2. Taken for strike 3, and Max is caught window shopping there as Biorum picks up his 7th strikeout, and the Vikings will be retired in the 5th. But not before the Vikings get 4 runs on 5 hits. They leave 2 men on base, and we have a new score here in Kindred. Vikings lead the Astros 4-1.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at your live event.
Hey fans, welcome back in. First pitch in the 6th inning is a curveball outside to Ben Suda. Ben Suda, the catcher. Where's number 9? He's the 9 hitter, so 9-1-2 coming for post 400. It'll be Suda and then Oshner and then Powell. Vikings score 4 in the 5th. Important moment here as Bernier has pitched a great game, but you need to have that shutdown inning, especially after your team puts up runs. Don't give any of the momentum back.
That's absolutely the case with these young ball players. It's a hard lesson to learn when your team takes the lead, drops 4 on the other team, and you got to come out and have a shutdown inning.
We'll see if he can respond to the 2-0 count here. He takes and throws a nice pitch, beautiful spot in the zone, lower part, 2-1. Suda, good take there, not a pitch he can probably drive. Here's the 2-1. That pitch is a strike on the outer part of the plate. There we go, Max. And Max has earned himself a 2-2 count. Ben Suda, the 9 hitter and catcher, saved a lot of runs behind the plate so far today. Takes that one way outside. Suda has been solid behind the plate and a couple of run-saving blocks, scoops. Here's the 3-2. This ball is popped on and hit out to right field. Hess is out there, and he makes a nice play just out of our viewing range, but Hess was over, Kuznia was over, and Westby was over. Hess, beautiful catch out there, and that's a huge catch because Max comes out, goes 2-0, he gets to 2-2, then falls to 3-2. You don't want to go another 3-2 pitch there. You certainly don't want to give up a freebie in the top half of the sixth. You can get that first guy out. That's a big deal. Keep in mind, again, it was the bottom of the order for the Vikings that got things started with the 6-hitter Gabe Iverson and then Cade Westby, Jonah Larson moving him over, and then Henry Kuznia picking up an RBI. So you don't want the bottom order of the other team to do the same. Here's leadoff man Peyton Oshner. He fouls that one back. It's 0-2. Oshner struck out in the first and grounded out to the third baseman in the fourth.
Yeah, you never want to walk that leadoff hitter, especially after your team drops 4 runs on the other team.
Here's the 1-1 taken outside. 1-1 now goes to 2-1. Oshner, Powell, and Donner. Here's a pitch taken for a ball. It's going to go to 3-1 here. Here's the full windup and a pitch taken in the high part of the zone. Powell didn't agree. Oshner didn't agree. He's going to have to go collect his bat. Teammate Griffin Powell chucks it back to him. That's when you get to step in and say, I'm sorry, umpire. 3-2 pitch. If Max puts this anywhere close, he might get some help. This ball is put in the zone. Hit out to left center field. Going to be a hit for extra bases as Oshner rounds first and heads to second. It'll be a stand-up double on that 3-2 pitch. So Oshner makes good of not walking there and hits that ball to left center. It's the first hit of the day for post 400. And it's only their third base runner. Max hit a guy in the fourth. He ended up scoring. He hit a guy in the fifth. He stayed at first. And now Oshner at second with 1 out and Griffin Powell up to bat. 4-1 here. Vikings lead. Max checks second, checks again, kicks and delivers. Here's his ball taken, a little bit up and out. Powell 0 for 2. Grounded out to the first baseman and flew out to shortstop Iverson. Here's a ball hit out to the right side. That ball, Henry Kuznia is able to cut it off. It's a big cutoff there because he's able to keep Powell at first base. Oshner was going to score no matter what, but a big play out in right field there by Kuznia. Powell's on first. Kuznia, if he does not cut that ball off, Powell is already making his way to second base. He slams on the brakes and heads back to first. So that could be a play that proves to be immense. Very beneficial for the Vikings. We'll see. When we come back, it looks like there's going to be some pitching changing, some position changes. We'll tell you what those are. Right now, it's Vikings 4, post 402 with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
All right, fans, welcome back into Kindred. A few position changes for the Vikings. Now entering the game is going to be Braden Olson. Braden Olson's going to go to shortstop. Braden Olson was on the bench, and he'll move to shortstop, where the shortstop, Gabe Iverson, you can see him right now. Where's number 8? He is on the mound. So Gabe Iverson, the new pitcher for the Vikings. Max Pernier's line will end with 5 1/3 inning in the books. He gave up 2 runs and is responsible for the runner at first. We'll see if his teammate Gabe Iverson can end his line with just those 2 runs. Iverson hits the batter, Braden Donner. It's his second time being hit by a pitch. And that's going to move Powell over to second. So Donner on first and Powell on second. Go ahead there, partner.
I think that surprised the batter because he was looking to his coach for the sign or the number or whatever you want to call it. And the umpire said, nope, the ball hit him. And he said, okay.
Zaire Miller up to bat now. He's a left fielder. Iverson throws high there. And Iverson's thrown 3 balls. Got to find the zone. Take a breath, calm down, and pump a strike. Thomas Cotterbaugh hangs in the wings. He's on deck. Big stop there by Sawyer Hess. A very big stop by Sawyer Hess because you don't want to put the tying runner at second base. Iverson, the 2-0. There's a strike. Hess can't handle that one, but we'll forgive him because he had a big stop on the one before that. Zaire Miller, Thomas Cotterbaugh, and Ronan Biorum are the batters coming up here. Strike 2, upper part of the zone. Zaire didn't like it. Moves the count to 2-2. Iverson appears to have found the zone. Here's a big pitch coming. 2-2, 1 out. Nice pitch, hit to the shortstop. Through the hole. That'll be Jonah Larson out in left field that chucks it over to Gronwald. Good effort by Braden Olson, but he couldn't make it. It'll be a hit. And that'll load up the bases here for Thomas Cotterbaugh.
Yeah, no hits up until this inning, and they've pounded out 3 hits.
Kind of like what the Vikings did in their part of the inning, right? They had 5 hits in that inning in the 5th. No, 4 hits? We'll say 5 hits. Right now we're going to get back to the game. Big stop there by Sawyer Hess. Thomas Cotterbaugh is 0 for 2. He struck out in the 2nd. Grounded out to the pitcher in the 5th. Bases juiced here. Another big moment in the game. 4-2. Vikings lead. 1 out. 2-0 pitch. Taken low. No place to put him here. Iverson looks in for a sign. Sets and delivers. Ball 4 taken low. It'll be an RBI for Cotterbaugh. An RBI walk. And Ronan Biorum struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. He's the pitcher. He's on the hook for the loss right now, but he can redeem that with 1 swing of the bat. Donner on third, Miller on second, and Cotterbaugh at first. Biorum fouls that one straight back. It'll be 0-1.
Obviously a big moment in this ball game. It's a 1-run lead now for the Vikings, but opportunity to shut them down here.
That ball's hit hard out in the right field. Henry Kuzniak, that one gets under his glove, and now the merry-go-round will begin. 1 run in, 2 runs in, a 3rd one coming. Going to be a play at the plate. Sawyer Hess is he able to hang on to the ball? Yes, he is, and the runner will be out. That's only 2 outs, though. The Vikings still have work to do, but that'll score 2 runs here, and the Astros have now taken the lead. That was Cotterbaugh, who tried to score all the way from first. It'll be a 3-2 put out, as Biorum is going to pick up a 2 RBI single. This ball is hit deep and over the heads of the outfielders. That's going to play to run, and that's Liebelt, who gets a huge double there, scoring Ronan Biorum. So Biorum with 2 RBIs, and Liebelt comes in with a big double and hits another runner in. A lot of action here as Owen Pfeiffer steps to the plate next. 6-4, Astros lead. A quiet game up until about the 5th, and now all of a sudden everything has happened. Gronwald backhands. Nice scoop there by Graham Hess at first. And the bottom half of the 5th and the top half of the 6th proved to be exciting innings. 5 runs from the Astros there in the top of the 6th inning. We have a new score here in Kindred. It reads Fargo post 400, Astros 6, and the Kindred Vikings 4.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful Kindred, North Dakota on an early June, late evening, beautiful day, mid-70s, and a great baseball game that right now sees the Fargo Astros holding the upper hand, leading the Vikings 6-4. But the Vikings did put up a 4 spot in the 5th, and Henry Kuznia, with perhaps one of the biggest at-bats of the game for the Vikings, him and Jeremy Knight each with huge at-bats. We'll see if Kuznia can lead off this inning with another big at-bat. He had a big RBI single in the 5th and then ended up scoring. He struck out in the 3rd. Fresh arm on the mound for the Astros. It's Braden Donner, and he's got some high-velocity stuff, high-octane stuff, if I'm staying with the verbiage of the young folks. Just like that, it's 0-2 to Kuznia. Kuznia gets a good swing in on the last one, but didn't quite catch up to it. Here's Donner's kick. Good take there. That's a tough take, especially seeing some fast pitches. Curveball breaking out of the zone there. Good take from Kuznia. Let's see what he can do with the next pitch he earned. Kuznia and then leadoff man Gronwald, followed by Graham and Sawyer Hess, the Hess brothers. Well, that's a big break for the Vikings. You know, I'm going to go back to that take there by Kuznia. That's a tough take when
Absolutely.
You're trying to catch up to a high velocity fastball. You get a curveball, you take it, and that pitch ended up getting him hit by the pitch. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt that bad.
Well, you get first base, and it feels a lot better when you come around to score a run.
I was just going to say, it feels even better as you move around the bases. He's got 270 feet to go before that owie starts to feel even better. Tyler Gronwald, he's 1 for 3. He had a big hit in the 5th and an RBI. We'll see what he can do here. This ball's fouled back. It was the same approach in the 5th. The Vikings, in the 5th, they were not letting fastballs go by. And Gronwald gets something that he likes. He just missed it and fouled it back. Here's the pitch. High. Ball 1. 1-1.
Now you're only down by 2 runs. You got the leadoff runner aboard. Tying runs at the plate, and there's nobody out. No reason you can't scratch your way back into this one. Maybe get yourself a walk-off win.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good swing there by Gronwald. Just missed that one, and the count goes to 1-2. Nice pitch, too, by Donner, staying in the lower part of the zone. Donner versus Gronwald with Kuznia on first. Here's the pitch. Fouled out into right field. Outside of the playing confines. And we'll reset on a 1-2 count. Here's a throw to first base. Kuznia looked back at the base and Donner saw it, tried to take advantage of it, but Kuznia is able to make good of that and get back safe. Here's the set and the pitch. High kick. Thrown down low. Suda's going to take a shot at Kuznia. That goes out to right field. Good backup by the right fielder, Owen Pfeiffer.
It's a beautiful job by the right fielder. That's what you're trained to do. If the ball's not being hit to you, what are you doing? You're backing up the play. You're backing up throws. You're backing up bases. Always trying to do something on the field. Great job by the right fielder.
2-2 count here to Tyler Gronwald. Donner looks in, sets, slide step, outside, 3-2. Good at bat here by Gronwald. He's swung 3 times, fouled off 1. We'll see what the 3-2 brings. Here we go. Nice at bat there by Tyler Gronwald. That ball is taken low, and Kuznia moves to second. Gronwald at first. And now the decision making by the young coach Oakley DuBoard. Graham Hess, Sawyer Hess, Jeremy Knight, 2, 3, 4 hitters, all very good. Braden Olson waiting in the wings. That's another decision that he'll get to make. Is he going to re-enter Max? All kinds of things to decide on. Do you bunt here? Do you not bunt? Mike, what's your philosophy? We're not going to go in here. This is an exciting game, right?
Yeah,
Graham Hess, good hitter.
I think you got Graham Hess up and you let him swing the bat.
I agree.
Especially in this situation. You got a pitcher that just walked 2 batters in a row, and to give that guy an out, I think is a wrong move.
Yep. And the other, we'll see what happens. I don't think there's a definite wrong answer here, but I agree with you. I think that I'm letting him swing. Yeah. And the other statement you're making, too, is, Graham, you're one of our best hitters. Be one of the best hitters, and we're not looking to tie this game.
Yeah.
Right? You get 2 runs, that ties it. We're not going to extras. We're going to win it on our home turf in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see what happens here as Donner steps off. Kuzny at second.
And you've mentioned it early in the game. The outfielders play very shallow for this post-2400 team. That's going to hurt them.
Oh, he is going to bunt. He goes after a ball, which he shouldn't have. That's going to be a conversation for after. That ball, actually, if he lets it go, might get by the catcher and move the runners over.
Yeah.
So a tough break for the Vikings and a big break for the Astros. To counter, Graham might be bunting for a base hit here, too. Nobody's holding Gronwald at first. Oh, and that's a bad attempt at a bunt. So Graham is going to have an 0-2 count here. He's going to have to fight awful hard.
I don't think Graham's been asked to bunt a whole lot in his playing career.
Yep. So we'll see what Graham can do with 2 strikes. Sawyer Hess waits on the wings. He can also put it over the fence, Sawyer can. We'll see. That's strike 3. Not a good at-bat from Graham Hess there. As Sawyer Hess is now going to be called to pick up his little brother. Jeremy Knight on deck. And then Braden Olson / Max Bernier. We'll see what happens if that spot comes around. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Sawyer Hess up to bat. He takes outside. Great stop once again by Ben Suda.
What a great job by Suda behind the plate. He's blocked a lot of balls. He's gotten a few breaks where the umpire blocked a ball for him. One hit off a shin guard happened to bounce right in front of him, but he's done a great job, and he hustles back there.
That's a huge difference from runners on first and second, from second and third. Swing and a miss there by Hess. Count goes to 1-1. Sawyer Hess, big moment in this game. 1-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Vikes trail by 2. Tying run on first. Takes a strike. And it's going to be 1-2. 1-2 here to Sawyer Hess. Jeremy Knight, the next man up. Here's the set from Donner. Off the glove of the catcher. Both runners are going to move up. They are going to throw to first, even though they did not have to. Boy, that would have been a tough break for post 400 if they throw that into right, because they don't have to throw that. Good news for the Vikings fans is Gronwald moves to second, Kuznia moves to third. Bad news is Sawyer Hess strikes out, and there are 2 outs on the board. Jeremy Knight, he had a 2 RBI single in the 5th. This is big for him. We'll see what he can do. Takes strike on the outside corner. Braden Donner, 2 strikeouts in this inning, 2 in the previous. He's struck out 4. He's trying to collect a save for post 400. Gronwald has speed at second. Nobody's holding him. He's got a good lead. A hit should score him. Swing and a miss from Knight. 0-2. Donner started this inning off a little shaky. Hit the first guy, walked the second, but he has settled down since. Here's the 0-2. Does Donner get the save, or does Knight get the tying RBIs? Swing and a miss. And it's Donner who ends up coming out victorious. He strikes out the side. And the post 400 Astros are going to end up coming away with this victory 6-4. A 6-4 victory from the Fargo post 400 Astros, excuse me. Probably said Comets a couple times there. The Fargo Post 400 Astros are victorious by a score of 6-4. We're going to step away for a little bit. We are going to come back and have the Todd Wold CPA postgame show. We're also going to announce the Enbridge player of the game, and we're going to talk about the connection of the match. Come back and listen to who wins those awards on the Todd Wold postgame show. We'll see you back in about 2 minutes.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Hey fans, welcome back into Kindred. Beautiful night for baseball, and it was a fun game. If you're a Viking fan, unfortunately didn't end the way that you wanted, but a lot of positive things happened tonight on the baseball field. At the end of it all, the Fargo Post 400 Astros come out on top by a score of 6-4. Welcome into the postgame show, sponsored by Todd Wold, CPA. For any accounting requisitions, from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting, he does it all, and he'll do it for individuals or for businesses. Check him out online at wold-cpa.com. Todd Wold and the postgame show certainly appreciate all Todd Wold does for Kindred Youth Baseball. Got a sibling fight going on up here in the booth.
Well, it was a great game. It was a pitcher's duel going into that fourth or fifth inning, and the Vikings break out with 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth inning, and unfortunately they come back out in the top of the sixth inning, and the Astros put up 5 runs.
We'll run through some quick stats here. Winning pitcher is going to be Ronan Biorum. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, only one of them was earned. Gave up 5 hits. All 5 of those hits came in the 5th inning. He was throwing a no-hitter through 4. He struck out 7. Ronan Biorum, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. The save is going to go to Braden Donner. Donner with a nice pitching performance. He pitched 2 innings and gave up no runs. Also gave up no hits and struck out 4. The loss is going to go to Gabe Iverson. Ivor had a little bit of a tough situation he came in on and wasn't able to shut the door. He then settled down and did a very nice job. Bernier pitched the first 5 1/3 inning. Also did a fantastic job on the mound. Hitting-wise, Tyler Gronwald 1 for 3, Graham Hess 0 for 3, Sawyer Hess 0 for 4, Jeremy Knight 1 for 4, Max Bernier 0 for 3, Gabe Iverson 1 for 2 with a run scored. Tyler Gronwald, by the way, was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Gabe Iverson, I'll go back to him, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Cade Westby, 1 for 3 with a run scored. Jonah Larson was 0 for 3, and Henry Kuznia was 1 for 3 with a run scored. For the Astros, Peyton Oshner, 1 for 4 with a run. Griffin Powell, 2 for 4 with a run. Braden Donner, 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch twice and scored both times. Zaire Miller, 1 for 3 with a run. Thomas Cotterbaugh was 0 for 2. Ronan Biorum was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Magnus Liebelt, 1 for 2. And Owen Pfeiffer and Ben Suda each go 0 for 3. We're going to name a player of the game sponsored by Enbridge. Life Takes Energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com is the place to visit for career opportunities. I think it's a pretty easy call. There was a lot of very good players here tonight, but one stood above the rest, and his name is Ronan Biorum. Ronan Biorum, the starting pitcher, pitched 5 innings, only gave up 1 earned, struck out 7. I'm going to cheat here. Ronan Bjornum is not only going to be the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, but we're also going to award him with the Connection of the Game, sponsored by HTC, Halstead Telephone Company. It's how to connect. Visit halstead.com, HALSTADTEL.com. Thanks to Halstead for sponsoring the Connection of the Match and Enbridge for sponsoring the Player of the Game. The Connection of the Game came off the bat of Ronan Biorum in the top of the 6th inning. The score at the time was Astros 3, Vikings 4, and the youngster Ronan Bjornum stepped up to the plate and delivered a big 2 RBI single, giving the Astros the 5-4 lead. He then ended up scoring and made the score 6-4. So Ronan Bjornum, not only did he collect the win on the mound, pitched great, but he had the connection of the game as well, went 1 for 3 with 2 huge RBIs, and then scored a run thereafter. So congratulations to Ronan Bjornum for being the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Life Takes Energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Visit enbridge.com for career opportunities. And again, congratulations for Ronan Bjornum being the connection of the game. Check out halsteadtel.com. I want to thank all of our sponsors, specifically Todd Wold, Enbridge, and Halstead for their sponsorship on your live event. Closing thoughts, Mike, as we wrap up what was an entertaining and fun Legion opener for the B Squad.
It was absolutely a fun night, another beautiful night, and again, this field looks immaculate. I'm just happy to be out here calling some games and get to call another one coming up. We're going to recruit somebody to help you out with the controls here a little bit and run the camera, as you got some babysitting duty to do, and totally understandable. So we'll make it work, and we're going to play some more baseball and have some fun.
Yeah, so we're going to step away for, we'll call it 15, 20-ish minutes here. If you're looking for some more baseball action, we'll have it here on your live event coming up here soon. We'll put the coming up slide on, and if you're bored here on a beautiful Wednesday evening, maybe you're out on your front porch and you get the computer up there or your phone, keep tuning in because we're going to have some more action. One more thanks to Todd Wold for sponsoring the post-game show. Check out wold-cpa.com. Once again, Vikings drop the opener in an exciting 6-4 affair. Fargo post 400. Astros come away with the victory 6-4. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Like we said, we'll be back in about 20 more minutes with game number 2.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Kindred Field here in Kindred, North Dakota. We got another baseball game for you. Legion B, the Kindred Vikings lose to post 400 the Astros in game one by a score of 6-4, but it was a great ball game, good pitchers duel up until a couple of bad innings for each team, and post 400 comes away victorious. Here's game two. Here's the starting lineup for post 400. Batting first and playing in right field will be number 5, Jackson Nedham. Batting second will be the shortstop, Marcus Hirschkorn. He wears number 28. Batting third and playing at second base will be number 11, Hudson Lura. Batting cleanup and playing at third base will be number 3, Carson Cantler. Batting fifth and catching, number 23, Zaire Miller. And batting sixth and pitching will be number 27, Peyton Oshner. Batting seventh and playing in center field will be number 16, Thomas Katterbaugh. And batting eighth will be the first baseman, Ronan Bjornum, number 14. And number 26, bats ninth, Owen Pfeiffer. He plays out in left field. On the mound for the Kindred Vikings will be none other than Tyler Grunwald. See if I can't fix the innings here a little bit. First pitch from Tyler Grunwald is skied in the air, and nice running catch by the right fielder, Jake Pearson. And one pitch, one out. We got ourselves a fly out, and we're underway. And I'm flying solo, just so everybody knows, so bear with me as I try to keep up with everything. I'll get an out on the board. We're in the top of the first inning, just getting going. One pitch, one out for Tyler Grunwald. His catcher is Max Bernier. And here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch is down low and in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Tyler Grunwald on the hill, looks in, and he rocks and fires. Defensively, he's got first baseman Graham Hess. Out at second base is Aiden Ostrich. Over at third base is Sawyer Hess, and his shortstop is Gabe Iverson. And the set and the pitch is in there for strike one. 2-1 the count. And here's the set and the delivery from Grunwald. It's a fastball in there, or down low. I thought the umpire's right arm was coming up, but he was signaling that it was low. 3 balls and a strike. And here's the set and the pitch. 58-footer is ball 4. Puts a runner on board.
Is this you? Or no? Leave it.
Hudson Lura steps to the plate. He's the second baseman. Where's number 11? Right-handed hitter. Tyler Grunwald kicks and fires. Fastball swung out and missed. Strike one. Runner on board. Thanks for joining us. YourLiveEvent.com. Beautiful night for baseball here in Kindred. Here's the set and the pitch. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. Max Bernier throws down to first base. Not in time. So I'm running the camera, doing the announcing, keeping the scorebook. We'll see how we do here. Here's the set and the pitch from Tyler, way up high. Throw down to second base is not going to be in time, and it skips into center field. However, it's not far enough for the runner to advance as Hirschkorn steals second base after drawing that walk. The count is 1-2. So runner now on second base. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out for out number 2. Big strikeout for Grunwald. Comes back and strikes out the batter.
Grunwald gets strikeout number 1. Out number 2 in the inning. Brings up number 3, third baseman.
That'll bring up Carson Cantler, the third baseman. Right-handed hitter. Again, he wears number 3. 2 down, runner on second base. Just getting going. Top of the first inning. And the pitch from Grunwald, fastball down low, ball 1. And the set and the delivery from Grunwald. Fastball swing and a foul back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grunwald kicks and fires. Fastball is in there. Strike 2.
Really low.
Zaire Miller awaits on deck. And here's the set and the pitch. Down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm Mike Bernier, bringing you baseball on yourliveevent.com. Legion B baseball. Call it Legion B or Junior Legion. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set and the pitch from Grunwald. Misses outside. Cantler draws the walk.
Brings up number 23.
That'll bring up Zaire Miller, the catcher. Of course, he had the shin guards on, anticipating the third out, and wanted to be prepared to warm up his pitcher between innings. But he gets to take the old shin guards off, the life of being a catcher, so he'll step up to the plate. The chance to drive in a run or 2 here. And the pitch down low into the dirt. It's going to skip away from Max. And the runners will advance on the wild pitch. So Cantler moves up to second base. Hirschhorn over to third. There is 2 outs. Pitch was a ball. It's 1-0. And the pitch, fastball that got him. Hit him in the left side. So he'll load up the bases. So 2 walks and a hit batter, and that'll bring Oakley Dubord out to the mound, just to calm his pitcher down, just saying, hey, you're all right. Keep working strikes. Nothing hurt. No runs across. Bear down. Get yourself out of this inning. Never did name all I named all the infielders, but I didn't get to the outfield. Jonah Larson is out in left field. Out in center field is Jeremy Knight, and Jake Pearson, who's out in right field, made a nice running catch. Looks like Grunwald is going to throw out of the complete windup with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Pitches in there for a strike. And the pitch. Swing and a ground ball foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Grunwald doing a nice job after walking a couple of batters and hitting 1. Quickly works to an 0-2 count. On the batter, Peyton Oshner, the pitcher. This pitch is down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peyton Oshner is on the mound for the Astros. Batting in the 6th hole. And the pitch. Called strike 3, and Grunwald works out of the inning after 1/2 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 runners left aboard after a half an inning. It's 0-0 with the Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
And welcome back to Kindred.
In the outfield, in left, number 26, Owen Pfeiffer. Center,
Tyler Grunwald taking the mound for the Kindred Vikings in the top of the first inning. Post 400 loads up the bases with a couple of walks, a hit batter. But Peyton Oshner takes strike 3 to end the inning. So we head to the bottom of the first inning. Kindred coming to bat. Here's our lineup. Tyler Grunwald leads off. He's a pitcher. Batting second is the first baseman, Graham Hess. Playing at third base and batting third is Sawyer Hess. Batting cleanup, playing out in center field is Jeremy Knight. Batting fifth and catching is Max Bernier. Batting sixth and playing at shortstop is Gabe Iverson. Aiden Ostrich bats seventh, plays at second base, and batting eighth and playing in left field is Jonah Larson. And batting ninth, the right fielder, Jake Pearson. Beautiful night for baseball in Kindred. Josh Almaris, a head coach for the A-Legion Ball Club, called the first game for us, but had kid duty today, and so the kids were getting a little bit restless, so he wanted to take care of them and maybe sit down and watch a baseball game. He's going to have a full season this summer, and looking forward to all the baseball. Babe Ruth action yesterday on yourliveevent.com. The Kindred Vikings take 2 games. Yesterday, they went up to Northern Cass and won 19-0 in the first game as well. And here's a pitch from Peyton Oshner. Here's a high drive into center field. Back goes to center field. It's got some carry, and it's going to get over his head. Tyler Grunwald is going to dig for second. He's going to have an opportunity to get to third. Here the ball's relayed in, and I think we're going to have ourselves a leadoff triple.
Triple here in the first. Brings up number 4, first baseman, Graham Hess.
Cotterbaugh in center field, I think he just didn't think that ball was hit as hard as it was. And Grunwald gave it a ride, and he'll end up on third base with a leadoff triple. Bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Graham Hess playing over at first base. Graham looking to do a lot of catching for the A-Legion team, getting some work over at first base to get him some more at-bats throughout the season. Steps to the plate. In there's for strike 1. Graham Hess batting second, his brother, Sawyer Hess, on deck. Oshner throwing out of the full windup. Pitches down and away. Nice stop there by the catcher, Zaire Miller. 1-1 the count. The right-hander looks in, gets his sign, rocks and fires. Fastball way up. 2 balls and a strike. Tyler Grunwald threw 22 pitches in that top of the first inning. Oshner throwing to his battery mate Miller. Here's the pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into right field. This will score a run. And Sawyer Hess has himself an RBI single. And the Vikings strike first with a run batted in single for Graham Hess as Tyler Grunwald comes across to score. I think I got the scoreboard looking right. All right, now I'll get the old camera back on track here. Up to the plate now, Sawyer Hess, playing over at third base. Graham, although primarily playing catcher, he's got a little bit more speed than your typical catcher. He can run a little bit. Oshner looks on, kicks and fires. There he goes. The ball is in the dirt, and Zaire Miller with a nice block kept it in front of him. In fact, caught it with his glove on the backhand. But no chance to throw out Graham Hess, who had a great jump. So Hess steals second base. Nobody out. Tyler Grunwald with a deep triple to center field, starting things off. Then an RBI single for Graham Hess into right field. A couple of hard hit balls for the Vikings. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for Sawyer Hess. Now here's the set. And the delivery. Swinging a line drive into center field. That's going to be down for a base hit. Graham Hess is being waved around, and there'll be a throw to the plate. It's not going to be in time. Oh, they got him out. Called him out at the plate. A single to center field. Sawyer will advance to second on the play. And Hess is out at the plate. Looked like an 8-6 relay, 8-6-2 relay. That'll bring up Jeremy Knight, number 17. And here's a set and the pitch. It's a fastball in there for a strike. So no run scored as Graham Hess is thrown out at the plate. On a nice relay. Third hit for the Vikings. The pitcher, Oshner, hasn't set down a batter. And here's a pitch, swinging a line drive into left field, and he still hasn't. That's going to get past left field, and that's going to score a run. Jeremy Knight digging for second. He's going to dig for third. There might be a play on him. Here's the play. Here's the throw. It's in time. They got him. 4 hits in a row, and we're getting out on the base pass, but Sawyer Hess does come across to score. Jeremy Knight tries to stretch a double into a triple. Gets the RBI double, gets thrown out. 7-6-5 on the play for the second out. And still, the pitcher, Oshner, has not gotten a batter out. 4 straight hits. Brings up Max Bernier. He takes ball 1. Here's the set and the pitch. Off speed away. 2-0 the count. A leadoff triple, a hard single, another hard single, then a double. Fastball up, 3-0 the count to Max. A lot of action here, and Oshner has thrown 12 pitches this inning. 4 of them for hits. And the pitch, 3-0, is in there for a strike. Max obviously taking there on that 3-0 count. And the set and the pitch. That one's a ball, and Max draws a walk. Gabe Iverson steps to the plate, playing at shortstop in this ball game, as he did in the first. 2-0 lead for the Vikings. Bottom of 1, throw over to first base, not nearly in time. Max didn't have that big of a lead. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball is in there for a strike. Gabe Iverson had a nice line drive single in the first game to get things started. The first hit of the year for the B Legion team. And the set and the pitch is in there for a strike. Beautiful night for baseball. Oshner throwing from the stretch, kicks and fires, off speed, is in the dirt. Max is going to break for second, and he's in there safely. The ball skips out into center field, but not nearly far enough to advance Bernier. So Max will move up on the wild pitch. The pitch was a ball. It's 1-2 the count to Gabe Iverson. Here's the set and the pitch, swinging a ground ball, pounded out towards third. Charges it, throws on the run in time for the out. Nice play by the third baseman. and that ends the inning. But the Vikings do strike for 2 runs in the bottom of the first, and after 1 complete, they lead it 2-0. You're listening to YourLiveEvent.com, American Legion Baseball.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
We're back in Kindred. Missed 1 pitch. Tyler Grunwald throws a ball to the batter, Thomas Cotterbaugh, the center fielder. Second pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Astros. Thomas Cotterbaugh, Ronan Biorum, and Owen Pfeiffer. And the pitch is a high pop fly. Playable on the right side. In comes Jake Pearson. He comes in and calmly makes the catch out there. And there's 1 away. Nice job by Jake. 1 out. Fix my scoreboard here. It's a 2-0 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Now batting Ronan Biorum, player of the game in the first game. Winning pitcher. Takes strike 1 from Tyler Grunwald. 1 out. Nobody on. And the pitch from Grunwald is a fastball in there, strike 2. Max Berdinger is battery mate. And the set and the pitch is a off speed. Looks like it was about a 55-footer in the dirt. RBI single for Graham Hess and an RBI double for Jeremy Knight. That's how the Vikings score their runs. Pitch misses in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the set and the delivery. Swing and a ground ball pounded out to the right side. Aiden Ostrich has it. Throws on to first base. Graham Hess is there. And there's quickly 2 down.
Route number 2 brings up number 26 left fielder, Owen Pfeiffer.
A 4-3 putout brings up the 9th batter. Owen Pfeiffer, the left fielder. Tyler Grunwald to set down 3 in a row. Pitches in. Owen Pfeiffer, left-handed hitter. Where's number 26? The set and the pitch. Fastball swing and a drive into right field. Jake Pearson goes back. It's going to run out of camera angle. It's going to 3-hop the fence at the 3:02 mark. Pfeiffer's digging for third. There'll be a play. Throw over to third base is not in time. Throws up the line a little bit. So Pfeiffer's going to have himself a 2-out triple down the right field line. Ball's hard hit. Jake Pearson gave chase, but no chance to get that ball. It just kind of hugged the line down there, fair by about 2 feet. It 3 or 4 hopped the 302 sign down the right field corner, out of range of our camera because we're up on the first base side and I can't get the camera to show anything down that way. And here's a pitch, and there's a little looper into right field. That's going to score a run. It falls in front of Jake Pearson. It gets by him momentarily, but not far enough for the leadoff hitter, Jackson Nedham, who was 0 for 1, swings at the first pitch and loops a single into right field for an RBI. And it's 2-1. Post 400 strikes for their first run. Here's a swing and a ground ball on the left side. Nice play by Sawyer Hess. He'll go to second base to get Marcus Hirschhorn, I should say. Man, a lot of first pitch swinging, trying to keep up with everything, but that ends the half inning. Post 400 does come up with a run on a couple of hits, and the Vikings are leading 2-1 on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
And welcome back to Kindred. Mike Bernier along with you, bringing you American Legion Baseball, Legion B baseball action. Post 400 Astros in town, in Kindred, taking on the Kindred Vikings. Fix my scoreboard here. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be for the Vikings, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Aiden Ostrich, a second baseman, followed by Jonah Larson in left field and Jake Pearson in right field. 2-1 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Bottom of the second inning. Peyton Oshner struggled a little bit in the first inning. The Vikings helped him out a little bit by getting out on the base paths. First 4 batters all reach via the hit. And now he hits Aiden Ostrich on the first pitch. And he'll take first base. Ostrich, first pitch, takes one in the back. That'll bring up Jonah Larson, the left fielder. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball is up. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Astros. Vikings, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Here's the set and the pitch from Oshner. Fastball in there for a strike. Oshner kicks and fires. Fastball is up. 2 balls and a strike. Beautiful night for baseball. You hear kids playing over in the park. And the pitch, fastball, swing, and a foul tip, I believe, hit Miller right in the face mask. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller seems okay. Kind of got his bell rung a little bit there with that pitch. Foul tip by Larson. Nobody out. Runner on first, and the pitch way behind Jonah Larson. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Pearson awaits on deck. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball in there for strike 3. Larson goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Oshner. Jacob Pearson steps to the plate, playing out in right field, getting a little bit of outfield action for him. Gets his first plate appearance of the evening. Oshner sets and kicks and fires. Fastball, grounded over towards third. Nice played nicely by the third baseman. Long throw in time for the out. Nice play by the third baseman, Carson Cantler. 2 outs. Ostrich moves up to second base. And now there's 2 outs, and back to the top of the order with Tyler Grunwald. Tyler Grunwald led off the game for the Vikings with a hard hit triple to straightaway center field. And the pitch, fastball, is up. 27 pitches thrown now by Oshner. Through 2 innings, Grunwald has thrown 34. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1 lead, bottom of the second inning. 2-1 lead for the Kindred Vikings over post 400. And here's a pitch, swinging a little chopper out in front of the mound. They're going to say it's a foul ball off the foot of Tyler Grunwald. Graham Hess awaits on deck. Should Tyler Grunwald reach? Here's the set and the pitch. Off speed swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. So Grunwald goes down on strikes to end the side. No runs for the Vikings. No hits. They did leave a runner aboard. At the end of 2, Kindred Vikings lead it 2-1 with the Astros coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Today all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner 3. Good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Kindred. 2-1 lead for the Kindred Vikings. You're watching baseball on yourliveevent.com. I'm Mike Bernier. Tyler Grunwald taking his warm-up tosses. He'll face the 3-4-5 hitters. For post 400, it'll be Hudson Lura, Carson Cantler, and Zaire Miller to bat. Lura comes to the bat. He's the second baseman. He struck out back in the first. Top of the third inning, Kindred Vikings lead at 2-1. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Astros. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Kindred Vikings. Top of the third. And Grunwald kicks and fires. Fastball in there, strike 1. Hudson Lura, right-handed batter. Next pitch is in the dirt, ahead of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyler Grunwald throwing out of the full windup. Rocks and fires. Fastball swinging a high fly ball into left field. Jonah Larson has it measured. Now he backtracks, and it's going to land behind him. And Lura is going to stop at second base. He'll reach second base on the fielding error out in left field. Carson Cantler steps to the plate. He walked his first time up. I thought Jonah Larson had a beat on that one, and he was going to make the play, but just kind of lost it momentarily and couldn't quite recover. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss to Carson Cantler. He walked in the first inning, was stranded on second base in that first inning. Here's a set, and the pitch, fastball is in there, strike two. Oh, I thought he waved his right arm, so I just thought he was going to strike, but I think he was just motioning that it was outside. 1-1 the count. Pitch is up high, 2 balls and a strike. Zaire Miller awaits on deck. And the pitch from Grunwald, swing and a little chopper, foul. Down the first baseline, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oshner is at 30 pitches. Grunwald is at 41, I should say. Pitch misses down low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second, nobody out. And the pitch is down low, he walked him. Up in Northern Cass, the Babe Ruth team wins the second game by a score of 15-2. Here, Carson Cantler draws a walk, puts runners at first and second base with nobody out. We'll see if Zaire Miller is asked to bunt. I kind of doubt that. He's got some size to him, and he can swing the bat. He hits a high pop fly into foul territory. Max Bernier gives chase and overcomes Sawyer Hess, but he overruns it, and it falls safely foul. Tough play for both players, but I think the third baseman's got to take charge if he can make it over there. So I think Sawyer overran it a little bit. Falls safely. It's strike one. So post 400 catches a break. Zaire has new life, and he takes advantage of that and ropes it into left field for a base hit. Jonah Larson stumbles with it again and throws it in, and there will be no play at the plate. It'll be a single. I think we might give another error. If he fields it cleanly, I don't think he scores, but we'll see what they score it. No error on the play, so it'll be an RBI single for Zaire. And post 400 ties it up. That'll bring up Peyton Oshner, the pitcher. He struck out looking his first time up. First pitch, he takes strike one from Grunwald. And here's a pitch, swinging a line drive over towards second base. Skips into right field, and it gets past Jake Pearson out in right. That'll score 1 run. And Zaire Miller will be held up at third base. It'll be an RBI single for Peyton Oshner. Carson Cantler comes across to score, making it 3-2 in favor of post 400. And it's a 3-2 lead for the Astros. That'll bring up Thomas Cotterbaugh. Oakley Dewboard wants to go out and talk to his pitcher, make sure everything's okay here. Hudson Lura led off the inning with a fly ball to left field. He'll reach on the error by the left fielder. Carson Cantler then draws a walk, an RBI single for Zaire Miller, and then promptly followed by an RBI single for Peyton Oshner. Thomas Cotterbaugh is the batter. He's the center fielder. Astros take a 3-2 lead. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. 2 for the Astros. For the Vikings, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Oakley Dewboard is done with his mound visit. There's nobody out. Runners on first and third. And 2 runs already in this inning. Hudson Lura's run will be an unearned run because he reached on the air. Here's a set and the pitch, and it's a fastball in. I heard that the runner was going, but he did not attempt to steal, did Oshner. Pitch was a called strike. Grunwald pitching out of the stretch. Looks over. And he's going to kick and fire. Fastball outside. Max Bernier fakes the throw down to first base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the set end of the delivery. It's a fastball way away, and it's going to get past Max Bernier. Throw to the plate is not in time. Zaire Miller comes across to score. And it's a 4-2 lead. It's a wild pitch for Grunwald as Zaire Miller comes across to score. Oshern does move down to second base. 2-1 the count to Thomas Cotterbaugh. He's 0 for 1. He flew it to right field his first time up. Takes a pitch inside. 3 balls and a strike. 51 pitches now for Tyler. Ronan Bjorm is on deck. Here's a set and the pitch and the swing and a high fly ball into right field. Jake Pearson's not going to get this when it goes sailing over his head. That should score 1 run. Cotterbaugh is going to make his way over to third base, and the throw will not be anywhere in time. And it's another triple for post 400 as Oshner comes across to score. And Oakley Dubord is going to make a trip to the mound as post 400 takes a 5-2 lead. And that'll be it for Tyler Grunwald. We'll take a break for the pitching change. Astros lead it by a score of 5-2 on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And welcome back. Braden Olson will come on. He'll be the relief pitcher. For now, Tyler Grunwald comes out of the game. Giving up some runs here in the top of the third. It's a 5-2 lead for the Astros. Braden Olson on to pitch. First pitch. It's way up high. Ronan Bjorm steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Runner on third base. Nobody out. 4 runs in for the Astros in the top of the third. And the pitch, swinging a little chopper out towards third. Sawyer Hess fields it, throws on to first base. Nice scoop by Graham Hess over at first base, and they'll get the out recorded. Run does come across a score. So it's a 5-3 putout, gets the RBI. Out number 1. Cotterbaugh comes across to score, making it 6-2. That run will be charged to Tyler Grunwald. Now Owen Pfeiffer steps to the plate. Here's a little grounder out towards third. Nice play by Sawyer Hess again. Throws on the run in time for the out. 2 quick outs for Braden Olson on a couple of ground outs to Sawyer Hess. Pfeiffer ripped a triple his first time up. Later came around to score. That was Mack in the second inning. Now there's 2 down. Nobody on base here as I clear out my scoreboard. And the pitch from Braden Olson is in there for a strike. Back to the top of the order for post 400. It's Jackson Nedham, the right fielder. He's 1 for 2. He flew out and singled. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. And here's a pitch from number 13, Braden Olson. Fastball down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 6 runs on 5 hits and no errors for the Astros. Vikings 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. And the pitch from Braden Olson. Fastball, swing and a foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Astros come out, drop 5 runs on the Vikings here in the top of the 3rd. And here's a pitch, a little blooper back to the pitcher, and Braden Olson will snare it out of the air. And he comes in and sets down the side, but not before the Astros come up with 5 runs in the top of the 3rd inning and take a 6-2 lead on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
And we're back, getting ready to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kindred Vikings coming to bat. Vikings will send up the 2-3-4 hitters, Graham Hess, Sawyer Hess, and Jeremy Knight. Vikings find themselves down by a score of 6-2 after the Astros come up and throw up 5 on the scoreboard. Nice to bring you baseball live from Kindred. I'm Mike Bernier, bringing you baseball on yourliveevent.com. What a great service this is. Thank you to our sponsors for bringing you this awesome service. And thanks to Your Live Event for letting us do it. Vikings looking to put some runs up. It'll be Graham Hess, Sawyer Hess, and Jeremy Knight, like I said. Getting ready to play some baseball here. Is this a new pitcher? Oh, okay. Number 2. This is Griffin Powell coming in to pitch. Griffin Powell comes in to pitch for post 400. And his first pitch will be to first baseman Graham Hess. And here's the set, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. And Griffin Powell kicks and fires. He'll hit Graham Hess and put him aboard. So for Tyler Grunwald, he goes 2 innings, allows 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned, walks 3 and strikes out 2, and leaves the game. For Oshner, he goes 2 innings, allows 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 1 and struck out 2. Now Sawyer Hess bats, takes ball 1. There is a runner on first base in Graham Hess, who drew a walk. Actually didn't draw a walk, he got hit with the pitch. And here's a pitch to Sawyer. Griffin Powell kicks and fires. Graham Hess off on the pitch. It's off Zaire Miller's glove. There will be no throw down to second base. A stolen base for Graham. Sawyer Hess looking to change the score. And here's a pitch. Fastball is up. 3 balls and no strikes. Griffin Powell, right-handed pitcher. Where's number 2? On in relief. Here's the set and the delivery. Fastball is up, and he draws a walk.
Brings up number 17, center fielder, Jeremy Knight.
That'll bring up Jeremy Knight. Jeremy Knight laced a double back in the first inning. He was thrown out, trying to stretch it into a triple, but he got himself an RBI. Steps to the plate with runners at first and second, and nobody out. Looking to get back on the scoreboard. And the pitch from Powell is outside, ball 1. Here's the set. And the pitch. Fastball way up to the left-handed hitting Jeremy Knight. Max Bernier awaits on deck. And here's a pitch. It's a fastball in there. Actually, it's outside. 3 balls and no strikes. To the left-handed hitting Jeremy Knight. I'm guessing he's got the take sign here. Here's a pitch from Powell. Looks on to second base, and a fastball is in there for a strike. 3 balls and a strike. Beautiful night for baseball. It's overcast, a little more chilly than yesterday when we first got out here, but man, it warmed up and it's turned into a beautiful evening. Here's a 3-1 swing and a miss by Jeremy. Full count. Six-2 lead for the Astros. Bottom of 3. Powell looks back to second base. Timeout called at the plate. Zaire Miller's got some equipment issues. Man, the life of a catcher, there's so many things you got to worry about. Your shin guards, your mask, there's always problems with that. Cramps, you're getting hit with baseballs constantly. Here's a pitch. Off speed is away, and Jeremy Knight draws a walk to load up the bases.
Knight draws a walk, loads him up for number 7, the catcher, Max Bernier.
That'll bring up Max Bernier. Now we got a coach's visit to the mound. Griffin Powell comes on in relief, hits the first battery faces, walks the next, and then walks Jeremy Knight to load the bases. Doesn't look like we'll have a pitching change, so we'll keep it right here. After the game, we'll have the Todd Wald CPA post-game show for you. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. Todd Wald CPA brings you the post-game show. We'll have our Enbridge player of the game. We'll have our HTC connection of the game for you following the ball game. 6-2 lead for the Astros. Griffin Powell throws out of the complete windup to Max Bernier, throws it up over his head. 1 ball and no strikes. Max looking to drive this ball somewhere. Swing and a miss, looked like a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Max looking to change the score. And the pitch, fastball is outside, 2 balls and a strike. Gabe Iverson is on deck. And here's the set. And the pitch. Way down, 3 balls and a strike. Max walked his first time up. No official at bat. And here's a 3-1. Fastball is in there for a strike. Here's a 3-2 set from Powell. Fastball's way up, and Max gets the RBI. The easy way on a walk. Graham Hess comes across to score. Bases remain loaded as Knight moves up to second base. Sawyer Hess moves over to third. Get the run on the old board here. 6-3 score. Astros leading the Vikings. Gabe Iverson steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. Swings and fouls one back to the screen. Strike one. Aiden Ostrich awaits on deck. Griffin Powell looks in. Hasn't retired a batter yet this inning. Some walks at a hit batter. Almost hit Gabe Iverson. Pitches inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now there's an overthrow over the pitcher's head. And Sawyer Hess alertly is going to come across to score. He's going to score on the error. Error on the catcher, I believe. I didn't quite see it. All I heard was Paul Quisland, the PA announcer, say, go, 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 go. And I looked up, and Sawyer Hess is running across, but it looked like the catcher, Zaire Miller, threw it over the head of the pitcher. And that was able to get the Vikings another run. It's a 6-4 lead. Here's a pitch, ground ball over to third base. He's going to go to third and step on one. Throw it to first base, not going to be nearly in time. And Max will stay at second base. So there's runners at first and second. So Knight is forced out, 5 unassisted for the first out of the inning. Iverson reaches on the fielder's choice. He'll be at first base. Max Bernier moves up to second base. And that brings up Aiden Ostrich, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. 6-4 lead for the Astros. Bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Zaire Miller couldn't quite squeeze it. Jonah Larson awaits on deck. Here's a set from the right-hander. Kicks and fires. Fastball in there for a strike. Throw down to first base is not in time. Griffin Powell looks on. Rocks and fires. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter, Aiden Ostrich. Jake Pearson on deck. Here's a set. And the pitch from Griffin Powell. Fastball swing and a miss by Ostrich. He goes down on strikes. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up Jonah Larson, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Vikings come back and scratch a few runs across here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Griffin Powell on the mound. Looks back at Bernier on second base. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Griffin Powell throwing out of the stretch. Throws back to second base, not nearly in time to get Bernier. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for post 400, the Astros. For the Vikings, 4 runs on 4 hits. They do have 1 error. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball is by Zaire, but it hits off the umpire and it saves a base for post 400. 2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting Jonah Larson. And here's a 2-0 set from number 2, Powell. Breaking ball is down low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitch, fastball, is inside. He walked him, loads up the bases for Jake Pearson. Jake Pearson is 0 for 1. He grounded out to third. Back in the second inning, Zaire Miller going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Seeing if they got some signs crossed up or not, and has a few words for his pitcher. Powell came in, hit a batter, walked another one, fielder's choice, strikeout, walk. That brings us to Jake Pearson. Throwing out of the full windup. And he steps off. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball in the dirt. Nice block again by Zaire Miller. Saved a run for the time being. And here's the 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike. To Jake Pearson. Pearson with a base hit can tie this ball game up. And here's a pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul. Down the third baseline. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oakley Dewboard with a throwback to the mound, like literally to the mound. Hits off the pitching rubber and skips over. The first baseman's got to go pick it up for him. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed away. Momentarily gets by Miller, but not far enough away for Bernier to take that chance. Don't want to make that third out at the plate in this situation. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a ground ball out towards second base. They're going to go to first base and in time to retire the side. But the Vikings do come up with a couple of runs in the bottom of the third inning, and the Astros lead it by a score of 6-4 on YourLiveEvent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Back to beautiful Kindred. Kindred Vikings trailing post 400 the Astros by a score of 6-4. Braden Olson takes the mound again for the top of the 4th inning. Pitch behind him, hits his bat on Marcus Hirschkorn. Braden Olson will face the 2-3-4 hitters. It's Marcus Hirschkorn, followed by Hudson Lura and Carson Cantler. Hirschkorn walked and grounded out to third. Here's the pitch, in there for a strike. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch was a ball. Oh, he keeps fooling me with that right arm. Yeah. I can't hear him with my headset on, so when I see him move that right arm, I assume he's calling a strike. So it's 2 balls and a strike. Braden Olson on the hill. Where's number 13? Throws out of the full windup. Rocks and fires. Off speed is inside. 3 balls and a strike. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Astros. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Kindred Vikings. That pitch misses. And Olson allows his first batter to reach base. That'll bring up Hudson Lura, the second baseman. He struck out and reached second base on an error in the 3rd inning and came around to score. Here's a pitch from Olson in there for a strike. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of 4. Braden Olson on the hill. Rocks and fires, fastball in there for a strike. Throw down to first base, not in time. Max Bernier throwing down to first. Graham Hess there to make the catch. 0-2 the count. And the pitch from Olson, off speed, misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's a pitch from Olson. Fastball down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the set and the delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big out for Braden Olson. 1 down. And that brings up number 3. The third baseman, Carson Cantler. He's walked a couple of times, scored back in the 3rd inning. 1 down, and the pitch. Fastball down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the set, and the pitch from Braden Olson. Fastball swinging a foul back to the screen. Beautiful night for baseball. This is the second of 2 ball games. Post 400 won the first game by a score of 6-4. Started off as a pitcher's duel over 4 or 5 innings. Both teams broke out with some runs. Here's a pitch from Olson, off speed, way up high, gets past Bernier, and it's going to go all the way to the screen. It'll be a wild pitch. So a runner on second base after the wild pitch. 2 balls and a strike to the batter, Carson Cantler. And the pitch, fastball swinging a high pop fly down the first base line. I believe it's out of play. Yep, it hits the top of the dugout, top of the press box over here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Press box is shouting that there's going to be some hail damage, an insurance claim coming up after the ball hit the top of the press box here. Here's a 2 ball and 2 strike pitch. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter, Carson Cantler. Zaire Miller awaits on deck. Braden Olson gets a sign. Rocks and fires. Fastball swinging a pop-up foul. This one will miss the press box. Up and over. Three balls and 2 strikes. And here's a pitch. Fastball away, walked him. Second walk issued in the inning. That's the 3rd time that Carson Cantler has drawn a walk. That'll put runners at first and second with 1 out, and Zaire Miller steps to the plate. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning and laced an RBI single to left field. Back in the third, he later came around to score. Here's a pitch from Olson. Off speed away, ball 1. Braden Olson came on in relief for Tyler Grunwald in the third inning. Got the first 2 batters he faced on a ground out, then he got the next guy to pop up back to him. Now in the fourth inning, walked a batter, struck out a batter, now walked a batter. Misses inside to Miller. It's 2-0. Here's the set and the pitch from Braden Olson. Fastball down low. 3 balls and no strikes. Olson in danger of loading up the bases on walks. 6-4 lead for the Astros over the Vikings. And the pitch. That one's in there for a strike. 29 pitches thrown now by Braden Olson. Here's the set. And the pitch. Fastball. Down low, he walked him. Bases are loaded. With just the 1 out. That'll bring Oakley Dubord out to the mound to have a little chat with Braden and his team. We'll keep it right here. Doesn't look like there's going to be a pitching change. Bases are loaded. Kindred Vikings scored 2. They struck first with 2 in the bottom of the first inning. Astros came back in the top of the second inning and scored a run. And then the Astros dropped 5 runs in the top of the third, but the Vikings followed up in the bottom of the third with 2 runs of their own. Now, in the top of the fourth inning, Braden Olson has walked the bases loaded. He did strike out a batter, so there is 1 out with the bases loaded. And Oakley Dubord heads back to the dugout. He's going to leave his pitcher, Braden Olson, out there. See if they can't roll the double play and work their way out of this inning and get the bats up to the plate. Griffin Powell steps to the plate. He's a pitcher now. Line drive out to shortstop. I missed it. I was looking down and writing Griffin Powell's name in there. He lines out to shortstop, so there's quickly 2 outs. So line out, 2 down. And Thomas Cotterbaugh comes in to bat. He flew out and tripled, an RBI triple. Now we'll have a courtesy runner. Over at first base, got the number. It's number 9, Ben Suda. He'll come in to courtesy run for the catcher. And that brings up Thomas Cotterbaugh, the center fielder. 1 for 2 with that triple. 2 down, bases loaded. And here's a pitch from Olson. Off speed, swinging a ground ball, tipped and into center field, and that's going to score 1 run. And they're going to hold up the runner at third base as the throw comes into the plate. Now it skips away. And Max Bernier hustles back and gets the ball in, and nobody will advance. So it'll be an RBI single into center field. Bases remain loaded as Hirschkorn comes across the score. He led off the inning with that walk. Now it's a 7-4 lead for the Astros. And Braden Olson looks on. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball, swinging a ground ball, snared by Olson, and he's going to throw him out over at first base to end that inning. They do get a run in the top of the fourth inning and have a 7-4 lead against the Vikings. Vikings coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
We have some defensive changes for the post 400 Astros. The third baseman, Carson Cantler, comes in to pitch, and it'll just be a straight switch as the pitcher, Griffin Powell, will slide over and play third base. Carson Cantler will face the top of the order, and it should be Braden Olson's spot. He came in relief. Yes, Braden Olson is up there, and he'll come to bat. He came in for Tyler Grunwald. Grunwald had tripled and scored a run and struck out, and he was a starting pitcher. Now Braden Olson came in relief and will bat in Grunwald's spot. He'll be followed by Graham Hess and Sawyer Hess, the 1-2-3 hitters. Bottom of the fourth inning, 7-4 lead for the Astros. One-man show tonight. I'm running the scoreboard, but I think I'm getting things down a little bit here. A little slow on the uptick as I'm running the camera and running the controls and trying to keep a book. 7-4 lead for the Astros. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. 4 post 400 for the Kindred Vikings. 4 runs on 4 hits, and there was an error. Carson Cantler comes in to pitch. Mentioned in game 1, Max Bernier coached a fall ball league in Fargo, and Carson Cantler was on that team as well, along with Griffin Powell for post 400. Max was teammates with Sawyer and Graham Hess. Played some fall baseball in Fargo. That was a lot of fun. First pitch to Braden Olson is a strike. Second one is a high fastball, and Braden Olson took a big old hack after it, and he's behind in the count 0-2. And here's the set and the pitch, off speed, in there for strike 3. Braden goes down looking for out number 1. Cantler strikes out the first batter he faces. That'll bring up Graham Hess, first baseman, RBI single in the first inning. Stole a base, was thrown out over at third base. Later on, he was hit by a pitch in the third, stole a base, and came around to score. So he's 1 for 1. The run scored and an RBI. Takes ball 1. Carson Cantler rocks, fires, fastball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cantler kicks and fires, fastball is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now Carson Cantler throws out of the full windup, kicks, fires, and it hit him. And for the second time in a row, Graham Hess is hit by the pitch. I don't know what it is with Graham Hess, but the ball just seems to attract him. Same with Kylan Swenson on the A-Legion Ball Club. He has a record for school ball and Legion ball, and Graham Hess has a record for getting hit by pitches in Babe Ruth ball, I believe. Sawyer Hess steps to the plate. He's singled and walked. He's got a couple of runs scored. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. Vikings find themselves down by 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Throw over to first base is not in time. And the pitch way upstairs. And inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's a 1-0. Or 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sawyer Hess. Here's the set and the delivery from Carson Cantler. Fastball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on strikes. For out number 2. That'll bring up Jeremy Knight, center fielder. He had an RBI double back in the first, and he walked in the 3rd inning. 2 down, runner on first base. And throw over to first base is not in time. Graham Hess back in plenty of time. Jeremy Knight, solid left-handed hitter. And the pitch, swinging a high fly ball into center field, playable. And that's the 3rd out of the inning as Kadaba runs it down out in center field. And that'll end the inning. And we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. And Post 400 leads it by a score of 7-4 on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up today all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
And welcome back to Kindred. Braden Olson takes a mound again for the Kindred Vikings. Vikings find themselves down by a score of 7-4. Astros got 1 in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th. For the Vikings, they scored their runs, 2 runs in the 1st, 2 runs in the 3rd, and they trail by a score of 7-4. Braden Olson on the mound. He'll come out. He'll face the 9 1-2 hitters. It'll be Owen Pfeiffer, followed by Jackson Nedham and Marcus Hirschkorn. Owen Pfeiffer steps to the plate. Left-handed hitter. He ripped a triple down the right field line in the 2nd inning, came around to score, and he grounded out in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. Braden Olson throwing out of the full windup. Rocks and fires. Fastball in there for a strike. Top of the 5th inning. And the pitch from Olson. Swinging a high pop fly behind third base in foul territory. Sawyer Hess with a beautiful, beautiful running catch out in left field down the line. Beautiful catch for Sawyer Hess. Records out number 1. That'll bring us to the top of the order with Jackson Nedham, the right fielder. He flew out, singled, and popped out. 1 for 3. First pitch is in there for a strike. Jackson Nedham, where's number 5, right-handed hitter. And here's a pitch. Fastball is up. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Braden Olson kicks and fires. Fastball swinging a Ball chopped, and it's going to trickle foul. Max Bernier goes out and touches it. Definitely hit the lip in the turf. Trickled foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter, Jackson Nedham. The Vikings will counter with Max Bernier, Gabe Iverson, and Aiden Ostrich in the bottom of the 5th inning. And here's a 1-2. In there for strike 3. Olson records his 2nd strikeout. 2 down. Brings up Marcus Hirschkorn, the shortstop. He's walked, grounded out, then walked again, scored a run. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. Hudson Lura waits on deck. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Astros. For the Vikings, 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. And here's a pitch from Olson. Swinging a line drive into right field. Jake Pearson comes on, makes a catch. 1-2-3 inning for Braden Olson. Last half of the 5th inning, last chance for the Vikings. As they come up and bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, down by a score of 7-4 on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo, Moorhead, and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
And welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Kindred Vikings have their last ups here. Astros lead it by a score of 7-4 over the Kindred Vikings. Carson Cantler on the mound for post 400 and the Astros. He'll face Max Bernier, Gabe Iverson, and Aiden Ostrich. Max Bernier steps up to the plate. He's doing the catching duties in this ball game. He's walked twice. Once with the bases loaded, he got himself an RBI. Here's the set and the pitch from Carson Cantler. Fastball swinging a little looper over towards second base. The second baseman comes on and makes a catch. So Max Bernier, first pitch swinging, pops it up. And there's quickly 1 away. And that'll bring up Gabe Iverson with 1 out. And here's the set and the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1 for Gabe. Carson Cantler has come in and faced 5 batters, got 4 of them out. He did hit a batter. Here's the 0-1 fastball in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Aiden Ostrich awaits on deck. Here's the 0-2. Outside, and the umpire, Josh Michelson, he motions that the ball's outside, but he raises his right arm, and it fools me almost every time. So ball 1, here's a breaking ball, down low and in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vikings need 3 to keep this game rolling. And here's a 2-2, swing and a miss. Iverson goes down on strikes. 2 away. Brings up Aiden Ostrich, second baseman. He was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd and struck out in the 3rd. Jonah Larson awaits on deck. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball upstairs, ball 1. And here's a pitch to Aiden in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's a 1-1 delivery. Fastball in there for a strike. Carson Cantler's got some giddy up on his pitches. Has a 1-2 count on Aiden Ostrich. Vikings down to their last strike. Here's a pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson Cantler throws out of the full windup, looking to close this one out. And the pitch, fastball, up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a pitch, fastball, swing and a foul. Looks like it caught Zaire Miller. Again, we're talking about catchers and the tough time that they have. Josh Michelson, the umpire, will kind of walk the ball out to Carson Cantler, give Zaire Miller a second or two to recover. It looked like he took that one right in the throwing arm, right in the right shoulder. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Carson Cantler. Off speed, misses away, and the Vikings have life. Jonah Larson will step to the plate. He struck out looking and walked. He's 0 for 1 officially. 1 runner on base. 2 down. First pitch is a ball to Jonah Larson. And the pitch, fastball, is off the glove of Miller. It's outside, ball 2. And here's a 2-0. Fastball in there for a strike. 2-1 the count to the right-handed hitter, Jonah Larson. Cantler looking to close this one out for post 400. Rocks, fires, fastball, swing, and ground ball hard up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Up the middle. Base hit for Jonah Larson. That'll bring up Jake Pearson. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out twice, once to third, once to second. So the Vikings just putting together some base runners here. Jake Pearson takes ball 1 outside. Carson Cantler looking to close it out for the Astros. Here's a pitch. Fastball, swinging a ground ball up the middle, and it skips into center field. That's going to be a base hit. And the bases are going to be loaded. It's a base hit up the middle. Would have been an incredible play had the shortstop Hirschkorn been able to get there. Now we go to the top of the order. It's Braden Olson. He struck out looking his first time up. But the Vikings have the tying run aboard. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. And the pitch. Oof, brushed him back a little bit. High and tight, ball 1. And here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike. And Carson Cantler throwing out of the full windup. Kicks and fires, fastball is down low, 2 balls and a strike. And here's a 2-1. Fastball, over, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Vikings down to their last strike. And here's a 2-2. Fastball, in there, strike 3, and the ball game's over. Braden Olson goes down on strikes. And post 400 wins this one by a score of 7-4. And a win for post 400. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Astros. Vikings 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. And we'll be back with the Todd Wold postgame show after this.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And welcome back to Kindred Varsity Field. Unfortunately, the Kindred Vikings lose this one by a score of 7-4. 2 Pulse 400 to the Astros. This is your Todd Wold CPA post-game show. For any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com. So in this ball game, Kindred Vikings struck first, scored a couple of runs in the first inning, but Pulse 400 answered back for 1 run in the top of the second, and then answered for 5 runs in the top of the third inning, and the Vikings couldn't quite recover, although they did put up a couple of runs in the third inning. Pulse 400 added 1 more run in the top of the fourth inning. And so Pulse 400 comes away with a victory by a score of 7-4. The win, I believe, will go to Griffin Powell, who pitched 1 inning in relief. He didn't allow any hits, but he did give up 2 runs, 4 walks, and got a strikeout, but I believe he was a pitcher of record. Peyton Oshner, who started the ball game, threw 2 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walked 1 and struck out 2. And Carson Cantler comes on for 2 innings and allows 2 hits, doesn't allow any runs, walks 1 and strikes out 4 batters. And for his pitching performance today, I think we're going to go ahead and give him the player of the game, the Enridge player of the game. So bear with me for a second as I get some things up here on the scoreboard. Okay, so your Enbridge player of the game, Life Takes Energy, Enbridge, energy for life, enbridge.com for career opportunities. Your player of the game will go to Carson Cantler. He comes on in relief and shut down the Vikings over 2 innings, walked 1, struck out 4, and then at the plate, he didn't have any official at-bats, walked 3 times and scored a run. So your Enbridge player of the game is Carson Cantler. And I think the connection of the game, discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone, it's how you connect. HalsteadTel.com, HalsteadTel.com. And your connection of the game will go to the right-handed hitter, Zaire Miller, 4 Post 400. He had a big RBI single, and that occurred back in the third inning. Remember, he hit a foul pop-up over down the third base line. The Vikings couldn't come up with the ball as it fell between Bernier and Sawyer Hess over by the dugout. The next pitch, the connection of the game, your HTC connection of the game, Zaire Miller laces a base hit, an RBI single into left field. So that'll wrap things up on the Todd Wold postgame show. Thank you for watching. It's been a fun time. We'll have some more baseball for you throughout the season on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.